Alright, how's it going everyone? Let me know how the audio sounds because on the last Friday stream, for some reason everything just went to shit. But welcome back. It is cold in Japan finally. It's a cold day in hell. No, it's great. I like the cold winter. I got to break out the hoodie for the first time in a while, and we've got a bit of a flashback episode. What we do here is go back. You may remember this character, Dogpack404. He has these two videos. I worked for MrBeast. He's a fraud. 3 months ago, 50 million views. I worked for MrBeast. He's a sociopath. 12 million views 3 months ago. Now, there was a part 3 of this that was supposed to drop, but he was waiting for Jimmy's response. But it's actually secret knowledge. But there's actually, the third video is actually already out. But he unlisted it because it's completely unhinged. He starts going into the occult and making up all these like crazy things. He's not like... Now here's the thing. It's pretty hot to shit on MrBeast right now. So when I, in my first view over of this video, said that this guy's a bit of a lunatic, people were calling me like a ball washer for MrBeast. And look, MrBeast has done some bad shit, okay? But it's like, it's so weird. There's like, you can never have any nuance in these sort of things. You have to be either this team or that team. But this dude is, frankly, insane. And he's teamed up with some other insane people for the purpose of destroying MrBeast's reputation. Now, I kid you not, and I can't believe this. But he's best friends now with a character called Rosanna something or other. And Rosanna Pacino. I went to try and find a photo of her today, and then I find this post. This is a very real post. I've double-checked this is actually true and real. We lost my dad about 5 years ago due to leukemia. He was the best. His dying wish was to be grown into a cannabis plant and smoked. So that's what I did. So this is the crack team. This is the crack team that are coming after MrBeast. And I was like, this has got to be a parody. This is no way this is true. Actually, if you search for Rosanna Pacino smoking her dad, it's actually true. She has a whole 50-minute podcast where she talks about growing her dad into weed and then smoking him. So I don't know. Now, this woman in particular has a real big axe to grind for MrBeast. The reason for doing so is that she entered one of MrBeast's videos. I think it was like hide and seek or something. And she placed third. Now, in the video, it was edited in such a way that it looked like she was taken out much sooner. So that they could have Logan Paul, I don't know, KSI, and some other wanker to be 1, 2, and 3. They wanted the big names to be the top thing. So she was very upset that she was not given the number 3 prize. And also that she was not allowed to hide in the roof. So she's been, like, she's had an axe to grind against MrBeast for the longest time because of that. And I have an axe to grind against her because she's responsible for killing Husky Starcraft's career. Very, like, she's like his boyfriend or some shit. And he destroyed his YouTube channel that was focused on StarCraft to just, like, work for her or something. I don't know. I don't like it because of that. But there are some very serious allegations levied against MrBeast. And they do bring this up. And she's kind of just been his number one A-log, along with this dude. For the past few months, about 3 months approximately, right? Basically, since the Ava Chris Tyson stuff dropped, people have been coming at MrBeast. And he has some very serious things that we might acknowledge and go through tonight. Now, there's a new video that's come out that is called by, I guess, a channel called Soggy Cereal. And it's called The Truth About MrBeast and Dogpack404, where he goes over the fraudulent, the psychosis, the absolute ex-girlfriend, jilted lover person that Dogpack is. And we're going to go through this today as he goes and tries to debunk all of the criticism against MrBeast and see how accurate it is. Now, I'm going to bring out my chalkboard for a second. Here's the old chalkboard. So these are my problems with MrBeast. This is why I don't like about MrBeast. So Ava Chris Tyson. Tyson. Jimmy New. Let's be honest. So if you don't know who Ava Chris Tyson is, Ava Chris Tyson was one of the MrBeast crew. and they were into some very disgusting things. They transitioned. People said, Sunny V2 made a video about Ava, and they said, like, this will soon be a nightmare for MrBeast. MrBeast says he's my friend, not a nightmare, blah, blah, blah. Turns out that he was into Lolicon and Shadman comics and also a lot of other stuff. Actually, I forgot. I got to add one more thing onto this. There is the Ivanka Trump stuff that might come up as well. If you're unaware of that, I'm sure everyone's familiar with the Shadman stuff. So Shadman is a artist who deals in the medium of lolicon, which is underage girls in sexualized positions. It's disgusting stuff. And there was a picture of one of Shadman's things on the apartment room when Jimmy was living with Chris Tyson. Now the Ivanka Trump stuff is something that came out in relation to the tag team of this woman that smoked her dad and this guy that would smoke anything in a cornfield. You can actually see him here. He starts his video in a cornfield. Very, very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. But they uncovered something which was a private group message, which was labeled as a work chat, but my understanding is that initially it was a regular chat that just became a work chat later, in which Ava Chris Tyson posted a picture of Ivanka Trump, where the nipples were out, right? I think it was from GQ magazine or something. And they said this is a picture of Ivanka when she was 14. Now it turns out that Ivanka was 18 during this photo shoot. Doesn't make it a better situation because they posted it with thinking they had the knowledge of this person being 14. So in my mind, that makes no fucking difference that she just happened to turn out to be 18. Doesn't matter at all to me. This was in a thing where Jimmy saw it, Jimmy knew about this person, and Jimmy put this person front and center on a channel that is primarily focused to children, selling products to children, toys, giveaways, all sorts of things. It was unconscionable in my opinion. So that's my biggest criticism of Jimmy. He knew all of this. And they've just sort of disappeared into the limelight. Not limelight, sorry. They've disappeared out of the limelight. But they're also still receiving, as far as I understand it, benefit from the MrBeast channel, as I believe they were a part owner. I believe all of the MrBeast crew, the four boys, have got like a stake on it. So they're still benefiting from this. And I find that to be a big problem. Before we get into that, though, MK Ultra, very appropriate, with a $14.88. I don't know what they can mean by that. It says, "Hey matey, can't catch this for much in real people time. Have a good one. Australia supremacy. Thank you very much for that." And Billy Oakey says, "Guess she wanted to blow him one last time." Nice. Thank you for those 2 Singaporean dollaritos. I may be forgetting a lot of stuff, so let me know if there's other things. Recent allegations, there is some crypto stuff that could be pretty bad. I believe CoffeeZilla is investigating that, but I don't know too much about it. I did see he put a new video up, but the crypto stuff is essentially Jimmy was maybe involved in a few rug pulls, right? Getting the bag by doing rug pulls, essentially tweeting out that he wasn't a part of his various cryptocurrencies, then making millions and millions of dollars off it and claiming he was not attached to them, but clearly he is, because he talks about these in various times. But the crypto stuff is kind of new, and I'm not too familiar with it, so I'll probably leave that out mostly today. Another problem we have with MrBeast is the fake signing of fake signage. So he would run these fake signings, there we go. He would run these giveaways where they would do like the next 100 people get a t-shirt, and it would be signed by MrBeast, but you can clearly see in the video that his friends are signing for him. Now, is it a really like a super serious thing? Maybe not, but it's still a shitty move to do. Like if you're selling merchandise, it should at least be authentic, right? You should at least care that much about it. Now, there was also the fake lotteries. That's another big bad one. And he was doing fake, potentially, it's kind of unknown, lotteries based on the actual criteria for what a lottery is. And there's like 3 sort of criteria that's probably going to be going over later in this video as well. Moreover than that, there is a few other things. There is the, we'll call this SXO. Wait, we've got to try and be a little bit, but the SO harassment in part of his, harassment, right there, harassment. This is confirmed. This is true. There are people that worked for MrBeast that did sexually harass people that were involved in videos, but it wasn't done by Jimmy himself, and those were allegedly fired. So I'm not sure if we can really blame that one. It's like a big company. Like, is the boss responsible for every single person? To a degree, yes. But maybe Jimmy didn't know about this, and they were dealt with in time. Another big one that they've got a problem with is allegedly he's been faking videos. That doesn't surprise me at all. So we'll say we'll do fake videos. Fake videos. And an example of fake videos is they use CGI. Now, I don't really care too much about the CGI, provided it's just like a little bit of a cherry on top sort of thing. That seems a little bit like they're just enhancing it. It doesn't really surprise me too much, but faking the results of videos. And we kind of know this is actually true from the Rosanna Smoked My Dad persona, because she confirmed that the results are edited to make it more interesting. But where does this come into when you have challenges like 100 men versus 100 women, those sort of things? That's what people are interested in. Now, what else we've got here is from the top of my head. And if you see any other ones that I forget, be sure to let me know. Let me know. There's a big one, which is the Amazon problems. So he did a show on Amazon, which was the MrBeast games, and it's kind of like similar format to his videos. Allegedly, they were locking people in, well, not so much locking people in rooms, but like they were making them compete in these events and then depriving them of their basic necessities that they may need, such as medication, tampons for women's, things like that. And they were just like, well, you got to deal with it. This is the challenge. You're just gonna have to free bleed for a while. That's pretty shitty. Pretty bad conditions for the Amazon show. That was called, I think it was called the MrBeast game, actually. So that was a big problem. This also was a secondary one. We have this is kind of leads into, he had the similar accusations for a different video where women were being mistreated in particular. And mostly they were like just depriving them of sanitary pads and things on that, man. So women mistreatment, I say. Women issues, we'll say that. We'll say women issues for that. Easier to write there. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really comes to the forefront of my mind. I think that's most of this. Oh, wait, there was a couple others. Yeah, there was a big one. There was Delaware. Delaware. Now, Delaware is an interesting one. This is a pretty crazy little situation. So when the first Dogpack video came out, people described it like this horse, where it starts off really weak, and then the good stuff is all at the end. And I couldn't agree more. The first part of this video, and a lot of my criticism of Dogpack in this initial time when this came out 3 months ago, like thinking back to the headspace we were in back then, is that I was thinking that this was a very unprofessional produced product if you're trying to take somebody down, especially with this intro where he's like high in a cornfield. And then again, people said like, Dogpack's doing God's work. How dare you talk about like, I'm like, all I'm saying is if you want to make like a really good takedown video, like lead with your best foot, right? And try and present it a little bit better. Now we did like get 15 million views. So maybe, he knew it the right thing all along. But at the end of this video, there is an allegation of a guy called Delaware. Delaware was I think he was a manager, and he showed up in a few videos. Now, he was allegedly called Delaware in the Dogpack video because he was not allowed to go back to Delaware because he was a convicted, let's call it child rapist, something to that effect. And apparently they knew this when they hired him. Now, I don't know if that's actually the case, and I think that is actually disproven somewhat in the Soggy Cereal video that we're going to take a look at in just a second. But I think these... Oh, wait, no, there's more. It got worse. Stealing ideas. Stealing ideas. Now, stealing ideas on YouTube is pretty common. A lot of people do it. But specifically what stealing ideas refers to is there was a guy that came forward and he was signed up on the MrBeast team in their creation division or creative. They've got like a ideation, I think they call it. And he came up with this like Mario level game sort of thing. And it seems like MrBeast took the idea, fired him, didn't pay him when he had like a kid to feed or some shit. And then they just went ahead and stole his idea and used it for a video. And that one seems pretty ironclad. It seems like they did do that. I would suggest that in this story there is maybe no good people. So people are like saying if I'm criticizing Dogpack, it means I'm pro MrBeast. Not the case. Not the case. But it seems like the truth is that Dogpack is a bit of a disgruntled, crazy former employee that has these kind of like jilted ex-girlfriend feelings toward MrBeast, and that's what they're doing all along. But yeah, that's what comes off the top of my head when I think about the MrBeast dramas that have been involved. But it's pretty hard to get past this one, that Jimmy knew about Ava from the very beginning. And a lot of people are criticizing Dogpack and trying to also, at the same time, throw under the rug, under the carpet, whatever you want to say, that, well, if Dogpack's a crazy lunatic, which he is, I would say, but a crazy lunatic is sometimes right as well, that the Ava Chris Tyson stuff doesn't matter, and it certainly does. It certainly does. With that being said, let us take a look at this intro of this video, and we're going to be doing a lot of pausing. So if you're triggered by pauses, get fucking wrecked. Let's see what they have to say. And this is, it looks like they're starting off, and this is a good way to start off a video. Leaked Dogpack404 MrBeast firing interview. So they're starting like with a strong foot forward in that MrBeast's team was firing this guy, Dogpack404, and he basically begged to try and get his job back. So let's see. It's a bit quiet. Let me
because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. I'm talking under control.
And I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time. Can I please have a second chance?
You were the manager of Dawson, or Dogpack404. I was the manager of Dogpack404 for a time being. If you had to describe the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word, what word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff that was
depressing. He's a lunatic.
Joke.
Now, we're just going to pause this because I'm going to introduce these characters as we go along.
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff that was a joke. Why did you make
that? This guy is also a very strong. It's like the three people that are really going after MrBeast in a big way is this guy. I think this is Jake Weddle, Dogpack, and Rosanna. I smoked my father Pisano. Now, what this guy's claim is that MrBeast psychologically tortured him, and they did so by doing the... I have to be honest, when we were watching this video, I couldn't help but laugh at this guy. I thought his story was ridiculous, and I received some criticism for that as well, but I stand by my statement. What this guy did is he was in a video, he was the star of a video, 1 day in isolation equals $10,000 or something, so basically they locked him up in a room with, like, you know, very little stimulus. And for every day he survived, up to 100 days, he would get $10,000. And he lasted like 20, 30 days or something. And he's like, they were treating me like a Guantanamo Bay inmate. It was like war crimes. I was getting paid $10,000 a day, and I couldn't leave the room. But actually, I could leave the room anytime I wanted. But I couldn't. They told me, please stay in the room so there'd be a better video. And then he was like. So he got the money, he got paid for the days that he stayed, he complained about it, he became like a big star, like his famous scene is him crying, basically. he's like, that's his brand, is like crying. He's the crying comedian. Of course, the funniest of all comedians is the crying comedian. And then MrBeast, I think, came out and gave him like an extra $50,000. So, like, basically he got a big fucking bag from crying in the video. I think he got like $300,000. He moved to LA, or maybe it was New York, I can't remember. He spent all the money trying to become a comedian, and now he has no money, and now he wants more money. But then he got more money as well. So this is the other character in this story. I got to be honest, I don't have a lot of sympathy for this person in particular. It was $10,000 a day. It's $10,000 a day. He could leave anytime he wanted. But anyway, let's see.
Joke. Actively right now, by the videos that Dawson is making, he is actively hurting the philanthropy that is helping thousands and millions of lives.
All right, 1 week prior.
Oh, so you want to cheaply manipulate people by imitating Content Cop? I'll show you imitating Content Cop.
All right, so this is where we go back.
Let's go back.
And of course, if you're kind of new to the internet, the Content Cops were something that iDubbbz used to do before he got completely buck broken by Anissa, and now he's like a sniveling shell of a man. But he used to do these videos called Content Cop, and I think he actually took them down. But they would get millions of views. And he would dress up as a cop, he would do little skits, and he would take down people like Keemstar, Jake Paul, Rice Scum, Leafy. They were good content, honestly. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, the Content Cops. And they were pretty good stuff. It was like, it was always like a nuclear bomb went off in someone's career when a Content Cop got dropped on them. But I think he removed them because he suffers from trolls remorse, which is when you say mean things about somebody and you later regret it. But Dogpack kind of did like that's why he was wearing the police outfit in the first video he did. It was because it was all references to Content Cop, and now this guy is also doing Content Cop, which I like. It's kind of kino. It's kind of reminiscent of a Guy Bon, A bygone era. I'm going to like the video, by the way, which you should be liking this video as well. Just a little reminder. And this is how all the content cops set us up with this song, which I assume won't give me a copyright strike.
Fuck.
I'm going to skip past this though because I want to get to the content. But good intro, good intro. I think it was well done. So who is the real criminal? You've got MrBeast and Jimmy.
Hey my bowl of cereal, as most of you have probably guessed by now, this video won't just be about this alleged fraudulent and manipulative asshole, it'll also be about this confirmed fraudulent and manipulative asshole. Dogpack.
Now remember, there can be two bad guys in any story. I think that Dogpack is absolutely unhinged, but he did bring up a few good points of criticism. A lot of it was kind of nonsense, but there was a few nuggets of wisdom in there. And I think this is... this video must have been removed. MrBeast's secret CEO update, he got fired. This must have been removed from Dogpack's channel. It's no longer there. And I also believe that MrBeast is at least sent a cease and desist. If you go over to Dogpack's community channel, it says they've got his final warning 3 months ago. But I don't think he's actually being sued. They've just sent him a cease and desist. Maybe they're preparing to sue him.
404, also known as Dawson French, and his victims of manipulation. For the people who have not been exposed to his propaganda yet, Dogpack404, or Dawson French, is an ex-MrBeast employee who worked there for about 3 weeks, and after being fired, made or worked on videos filled with lies about MrBeast. And I became suspicious of Dogpack404 after he called me overdramatic for not wanting to spread serious accusations with unsubstantiated and easily refutable evidence.
Yeah, this was a major problem with this video, is that while there was like I said, those nuggets of truth, by putting it next to all this, like, I know, this cornfield cringe and some ridiculous things about, oh no, the candy bars, oh, think about the candy bars are shit. It really detracted from his argument and gave a lot more credibility to the pro MrBeast crowd. And people are like, well, it doesn't matter, he got 50. No, it absolutely matters. You know, if you swing at the king, you better not miss. And there was so many misses in this video.
Well, it's because he tried to silence me with threats of slander after I started suspecting him of lying. So in this video, I will be debunking close to every accusation.
Alright, so let's take a look at this. And I kind of skipped to the end to have a look at this, and I don't agree with the entire board that he comes up. But he's going to, I guess, over the next hour, I suppose. Illegal lotteries, contestant fakery, luxurious production yak, intentionally hired registered S-offender, Feastables child labor? Okay, I don't know about that one. No. Isn't that like a what is it, a Meat Canyon video where no, it was the Meat Canyon video for the Costco guys where they go to Costco and they sell the child into slave labor to like farm for Kirkland stuff. Ava Chris Tyson being a DJ, and that's absolutely true. Fake Samsung giveaway, I'm not sure about that one. Signature fraud, that was true, I think. 7 Days at Sea, MrBeast committed war crimes, videos are rigged, 100 boys vs 100 girls, Delaware is a messed up nickname. That one I'm curious about, because I wasn't sure about that one, but I think there was another reason, and that Delaware was actually a RSO after he was hired by MrBeast, something like that. But the biggest one is, of course, going to be the Ava Chris Tyson thing, and I don't think there's any way to disprove that. Jimmy knew. Jimmy saw the Shadman pictures. Jimmy saw the degenerate Discord leaks. Jimmy saw the group chat messages. Jimmy saw when Ava Chris Tyson was presenting a picture of Ivanka Trump and saying that it was his opinion, that it was his belief that she was 14 in that picture. Now, she was 18, of course. But if you post a picture thinking it's a 14-year-old, that's just as bad, really. Because the intent is there. It's the implication. There was in the same. They used to be roommates. And I believe that Chris Tyson is a part owner of the MrBeast company. I think that Jimmy shared that with his friends, sort of thing. Moon Scam, I think that's crypto ones. Fake 10-minute videos, I'm not sure what that is. Feastables unhealthier than Hershey's. Greedy Max Mansion, I don't know about this. No safety. Some of the MrBeast places are very dangerous. I mean, you have to just look at some of their contestants, some of their obstacle courses, and you can probably tell that. But let's see. Let's see where this
he
goes.
and the people he manipulated have made. But Soggy, are you going to glaze the MrBeast, Soggy? Are you going to take right the lunchly owning alleged intentionally registered sex offender?
Oh, actually, that's another thing, is that I forgot to mention. So MrBeast also just released a product with Logan Paul, and I have some serious problems with Logan Paul. I think most people do. But I think that his collaborations with that is just another sign that he's just like completely soulless. And I mean, judge for yourself, right? This is MrBeast when he cured people of blindness. Some people have made... He has a very soulless smile. Now, I think that this thumbnail he got caused so much blowback, so much drama that they changed it to this one, which isn't necessarily better. Like, there's something so soulless about MrBeast's smile. Like, just look at this. Is like kind of spooky, actually. It looks like they've digitally enhanced his eyes to make it more. It's kind of got like that almost like AI look, but there's definitely a cold, evil grin here from old Mr. Jimmy. Oh dear. All right, but yeah. So MrBeast just launched a snack pack called, I think, Lunchly, and it's like a ripoff of Feast of, what is it? Fuck. It's a ripoff of Lunchables. So it's like crackers and cheese and shit. But then it comes with a MrBeast chocolate bar and a Logan Paul KSI Prime bottle. And very funny, but they use a type of cheese that goes off really quickly. So when Mrs. Rosanna, I smoked my dad after I grew him into a tree, opened her pack, the first pack they had was moldy. And this was confirmed by several other people, which is pretty bad luck. It's a pretty bad look. On top of all of this. So when it rains, it pours, and things kept getting worse for MrBeast. But that was another little snafu that's been happening recently.
Hiring MrBeast, Soggy. No. See, I think we can all agree that Lunchly, kinda cringe. Logan Paul KSI collab, kinda, that's a yikes out of 10, okay? And the fucking mold situation.
Yeah, here's the molds. Let's go back, freeze frame that. This is what Lunchly was like out of the box. And, like, it happens, right? You know, when you're launching a new product. But it's just the timing of it was so bad. You should have been extra careful. And there was also some criticism of MrBeast in the way that people were saying that he was delaying responding to any of the allegations of the RSOs in his company until the launch of this product. Which is, some people are very concerned about. It's like, why? He was just waiting. He was just waiting to launch his moldy Lunchables before, just selling this to children, mind you. And before he would go on the offensive after Dogpack. Lunchables got pulled. Well, it's Lunchly, right? I think Lunchables is the regular product and Lunchly is their ripoff product. It's like shameless. Give it a different name. Give it a fucking different name. Lunchables versus Lunchly. They just had to have lunch in the thing. I don't think it got pulled from every shop. I think that was a spreaded rumor, but it was definitely pulled from certain locations. Not every Lunchable was moldy, but quite a few of them were. I think the rate in like YouTube unbiased testing, it was like 1 in every 10 packs or something, or 1 in every 20 packs, which is pretty high. Like, a failure rate for a product like this should be less than 1%. It should be even lower, honestly, especially when it comes to food. But 1 in 20 or 1 in 10 is just, that's no bueno.
That is disgustingly messed up, and I'm never eating that shit in my life. But that doesn't mean that just because this spiteful, vengeful ghoul accuses MrBeast of intentionally hiring a registered sex offender, that he actually did. Yeah, let's talk about the lies spun by Dogpack and Jake Weddle, that MrBeast knowingly hired a registered sex offender, and while—
I believe this is the guy that was referred to as Delaware, and he was wearing a mask in every video he appeared in, and they say that he was wearing a mask is because they knew, Jimmy knew, hashtag Jimmy knew, that he was an RSO at the time. And they knew about that. Now, I'm not sure about that because I haven't checked this out in like the last few months.
Working at
but I guess we're going to find out.
Referred to him by covert codename Delaware because of the crimes he committed there, and as a result is not allowed to go back into the state of Delaware, and that MrBeast higher-ups
That's
are
not Delaware?
using that nickname because they enjoy messed up
Is it a different guy?
jokes like that.
When I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware?
Oh wait, maybe the guy in the hoodie, was that Jake the Viking's brother, who was also an RSO or someone?
I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname, colloquially. Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why. You know, that he knew it because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask.
Well, then people are saying this is Delaware, so I think I was right, anonymous chatting person.
Which, just saying that out loud makes it sound like a contrived side plot in a badly written Netflix series, since state banishments are extremely rare. Most recent one I found was a 1-year Kentucky banishment in the year 2000. Luckily, the real story is much more boring. See, according to a non-anonymous MrBeast employee, Dustin Harris, who has been working at MrBeast for about 6 years and went rogue because he...
Alright, what does it say? Hey Soggy, I'm Dustin Harris. I've been working at MrBeast for about 6 years now. I saw your slop video. I saw your slop video and wanted to help set the record straight about some of the misinformation online. To be clear, I think there is a lot of fair criticism out there, but at this point, it's a majority misinformation and slander, and not against Jimmy, but against the work I do and my colleagues do.
Understand Jimmy not responding to all of the misinformation being spread about not just Jimmy or the MrBeast company, but also about his own friends and colleagues. Well, he explained that Delaware was once a store manager at Jimmy's local Best
As far as
Buy, which
actually, this
for the
fits.
people who don't
No, I want to go back. I want to read that myself.
friends and colleagues. Well, he explained that Delaware was...
Alright, as far as Delaware goes, he was a local Best Buy manager Jimmy found. The company was growing quickly, and it was just Jimmy and 2 or 3 other friends. So he went to Best Buy and hired like 3 people. What? You don't go to Best Buy and buy people? That's like slave... No. It seems weird, but I guess, right? One of them was named Delaware. Best Buy called him that, and we didn't make it up, and he ran the store. I guess Jimmy figured out if Best Buy thought it was good enough for a manager giant store, he was probably good enough to run a YouTube channel, which was dumb, but Jimmy was like 18 at the time. It's not so surprising. We do background checks now and have super in-depth hiring process. People tend to think that the giant company we are now, when we hear the story, but it wasn't like a 300 company then. It was like 5 guys buying a car with pennies on the weekend. So I'm pretty sure this guy was actually a convicted RSO, but I guess the Delaware was just like a part of a story that they kind of made up. But I think later it came out that he was. But they're alleging that Jimmy didn't know at this time. But it did come out later, and I guess he got fired because of that. But I believe he did actually do these bad things. It's just the nickname Delaware wasn't because he was banned, just because they called him that in Best Buy or whatever.
Once a store manager at Jimmy's local Best Buy, which, for the people who don't know, Best Buy is a $20 billion valued electronics retailer company with stores all over the US. I mean that when Jimmy was 19 and first started blowing up on YouTube, Jimmy realized he needed employees to improve his content.
So I read this, so I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
They wanted to work for it. Naively thinking that a multi-billion sex offender as store manager made sure to not hire criminals and especially to not hire a registered sex offender as store manager. 19-year-old MrBeast didn't do background checks. Was that stupid? Yes. Is Delaware a piece of shit? Yes. Should Jimmy take responsibility for making that mistake? Yes. But it wasn't this fucked up master plan by Jimmy to intentionally hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business.
Alright, do we buy this? So there's the first piece of criticism that's come out. Delaware. Do we buy this? I think that they should have... So Jimmy went to a Best Buy and he found a guy that was the manager and just stole him? I don't know, that's a bit sus for me. I'm going to put a question mark on this one. I think Jimmy absolutely had the responsibility to do a background check on this guy, especially because his content is focused on children. That this guy just happened to have this history seems like a massive oversight. When basically every company, and you just go into a store and hire this guy? I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that. I could see how the mistake would be made, but I don't know if I don't know if you get a freebie on that one, I'm afraid. It's not as simple as this guy's making it sound it is, this Soggy Cereal video. He's like, well, it's just, I don't know. I don't know about that.
You don't need to take mine or Dustin's word for it. If someone did but a shred of research, you'd find a still publicly available, almost 7-year-old video on the MrBeast channel, where you can see Delaware as the Best Buy store manager before he was hired at MrBeast. And guess what nickname was embroidered on his Best Buy uniform? Delaware. Wow.
So I mean, that just means that. So this revelation really just means that they weren't openly making fun of his sexual crime past, and it was just a big whoopsie. Which is, I guess, it's better if that is if that is indeed the truth. That is better than the previous appraisal of this situation, but it's still not great. But let's continue.
Hard investigative research.
They called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he's wearing a mask, and whenever he's wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask.
And for the people thinking that he still works at MrBeast, no, he was fired over half a decade ago. Now, Dogpack, before
5 years ago. I mean, that's not a long time frame, but okay. I mean, it's just 5 years. How long was he working at MrBeast, and they didn't really challenge why he was wearing a mask, because if the Delaware nickname was just his nickname and it had nothing to do with being banned from the state of Delaware, then why was he wearing the mask? Like, are they just going to gloss over that and they're not going to mention that? Was he actually wearing a mask because he knew that if he got spotted, he would be outed for this thing? Is that the case?
Or you say something along the lines of, what about the recording we showed from a real MrBeast employee talking about Delaware? Do you really want me to go into detail about how you and your cronies tricked an employee into saying what you wanted him to say, to support your lies, and then you guys recording him and using that recording without his consent?
Yes, I do. I think you really should. I assume he is going to listen to this recording where they trick the person, but I wanna hear it. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Good.
Hi, Garrett. Can you tell me a bit about how long you worked at MrBeast?
I was at MrBeast from around 2017 to 2021.
So you've worked there for 5 years and could be seen as a credible ex-employee.
Yep.
You're the person who we can hear talk about Delaware in the recording Dawson or Dogpack404 shows in its video. Can you tell me a bit about how that happened?
Yeah. It was not to my knowledge that I was being recorded at all. You know, I have a friend who, you know, I worked with plenty of times outside of MrBeast. Just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on him and checking up on me. And, you know, when people
like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he didn't know he was being recorded. Well, I can't remember. We might have to check we might have to cross reference this with the Dogpack video to see what we think about this one.
Speak about old places, you know, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up, there's, you know, et cetera, whatever. And then the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, Dogpack releases like a 12 million view video where, you know, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice. And if you know me, like, you know it's me.
So was the entire call basically just rumors you were talking about with a friend?
Yeah, it's just a friend. We were just shooting the shit. And, you know, we're just gossiping a lot, catching up on, you know, the current drama. Like, it's just, it is nothing crazy. Like
nothing you said had any actual facts behind it.
All right, no, I have to go to the video. What did he say? What did he actually say? Where's the Delaware part? That would probably be by the end, right? Oh, that's right. I forgot there was like a... Hold on a second. I'll just switch to my premium account. There was actually like a 2-minute segment, like SpongeBob at the end of that. It was very weird as well.
Do you think attention is the most valuable?
All right.
After I won it,
where's the Delaware stuff? So there's the SpongeBob stuff. Or was that in the second video? Was that in the second video? Let me search the transcript. I really need to see this part. Why is it Russian in the beginning? Delaware doesn't come up there. Is the transcript in Russian? What the fuck? Am I on YouTube Russia or something? That's weird. Why is subtitles on off or Russian? What the fuck is going on? Oh my goodness. He's one of the Russians. He's one of the Russians. Let me see if I'll just scrub through it quickly. So the second one is called I worked for MrBeast. He's a psychopath. Was that the part with the Delaware video? Alright, I think this is it. Alright, let's see. I think this is the Delaware part. Yeah, this is the... Alright, we're going to listen to the Delaware part because I want to compare it to what's being said by Soggy Cereal.
To start recording.
Okay.
Okay, so Reed is MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children. So, you know, I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month. You know, don't promote gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know. But I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with. So I'll just say preemptively, like, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks. You're not. Everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying.
All right. Now we're going to jump back to this one.
They try to construe in their video.
No, I don't. I don't think any of the stuff that we were talking about really had any facts or like evidence. It was just water cooler talk.
Would you say them using
RFK catching strays? Come on, guys. I haven't actually heard RFK talk. How does he sound? I know that Anissa and iDubbbz made fun of his voice, and then they got blowback from their community for being ableist or some shit.
the call recording unconsensually in their video has damaged you or your life in any way?
Yeah, unfortunately. To say that it hasn't hurt me financially would be just a lie. Mentally, it's hurt me as well. I mean, I was manic and crazy for about a month and a half trying to just watch relationships like fall through my fingers. I lost someone that like was pretty close to me as well. It just wasn't a good scene. So financially and mentally, it really messed me up.
Do you feel in...
So from that recording, he's claiming he's lost relationships and financial opportunities? That seems a bit weird. I don't know if I believe that, I'm afraid. Like, so there's a voice changer, and he claims that if you knew who he was, you'd know who he was. But it's kind of like this nebulous, I've lost like who? Like, I'm not, from a MrBeast exposed video? I don't know about this. I don't know, this seems a bit sus to me. I might put an X of doubt on this one, I think.
Anyway, like tricked, deceived, or used?
I mean, yeah. To say that I felt tricked or used is an understatement. Like, they knowingly came and did this. I had like 3 or 4 contacts call me the night that it dropped, and I was watching the whole video trying to figure out like what they were talking about. And when it got to that recording, my stomach just like sank.
All because of a call that they unconsensually recorded, which you clarified was basically rumors and gossip.
Yeah. I didn't want to be involved with, didn't even know what was going on, that, I was just thrown into unconsensually. And yeah, you said it, man. It threw a pretty big wall up in the progress of my life. And I didn't feel like that was needed. And pretty upset.
But then, what about Jake the Viking's tweet about Jimmy's mom literally allowing her then barely of age son to knowingly be in contact with and hire a pedophile? First of all, have you thought about just how fucking absurd that sounds? And second, Jake the Viking is a shitty person and untrustworthy. Even Dogpack's friends agree on that.
Now, this is true, that Jake the Viking is also mistrustworthy, and I think his own brother-in-law was also a registered SO. So, when he came out, like, swinging bats at at the other SOs of the company, it was kind of ironic, I guess. But, there you go.
He's not a good guy, and that's just an opinion based on his actions in my eyeballs.
Wow, Dogpack and Jake Weddle falsely implying MrBeast intentionally hired a registered sex offender and created a nickname.
Like, why would you intentionally hire one, though? That's the thing. Like, nobody goes, like, when looking for a man, what is his criteria? Well, if he's an RSO, that'd be primo. Like, what? Intentionally and knowingly are two very different things. I think I can accept that Jimmy was negligent enough to hire this guy by accident, but it's his responsibility as the boss of the company, and especially a company that's exposed their prime audience is children. They're presenting this dude. He absolutely should have done a proper background check.
To joke about it within the company to then try back up their baseless claims by tricking an employee and recording him without consent? That's pretty messed up, Soggy. Yahoo! That'd be as shameless as falsely accusing someone of committing war crimes against the Geneva Convention in a consented to solitary confinement challenge where you'd earn $10,000 a day and can quit whenever you want and still keep the accumulated prize money up until that point. During a time where...
Now, to be fair, sleep deprivation is against the Geneva Convention. And they did lock this guy up in a room where they didn't turn off the lights. But he could have left at any time, which kind of changes the math on that. And what really changes the math on that is $10,000 per day that he was being paid to take part in this challenge. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for this Jake Weddle guy. He could have left any time. He got a big fucking bag, and then he got more money. I think the Jake Weddle guy is he was completely unhinged. Like, he was just another YouTuber with mental health problems, like every YouTuber, basically.
we have multiple countries actively at war in the world with millions of people suffering because of it. Oh, wait.
And I go up to my friend, my good friend. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good.
And by the way, they do torture the terrorists, and they do commit war crimes against terror. Of course they do. Guantanamo Bay's still open. What do you think's going on in there?
24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
You know what? Let's ask Dustin about that, because
Sean is the only stable YouTuber. He's got no ghosts in his closet. He's just got Clyde in there. So Sean's one of the good ones.
Ironically enough, Dustin is the good friend of Jake Weddle, who made those war crime comments. And I can prove it with Jake Weddle's own words.
One of my dear friends who I believe I lost is the same guy who did the war crime joke, which turned out to not be a joke. He got injured, MrBeast, and that's because of Viking. On that shoot, everybody else had to stay behind and clean up. And Viking said, fuck that, let's just throw all of this over the side of the mountain, like littering in the national park. And my good dear friend, who I kept saying was one of the good people over there, said, you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. And Viking said, watch me. And he did it. But my friend...
Now that is pretty shitty too. Like, this is one thing that MrBeast received criticism for as well, is that they would go and do these giant events and they would just leave a bunch of fucking trash in the wilderness. That's a bad move. Come on, guys. Don't just go fucking dump like a car out there or some shit and set it on fire. Like, you gotta take out what you take in. Come on now. And they're just so lazy, they're just gonna like dump shit in the forest. Like, fuck off.
Gathered up all the stuff he could to make sure there was just that much less litter. And that's a really good thing to do. He carried everything he could down the mountain, and he broke his ankle. They said, yeah, you were carrying too much stuff, right? Yes, he was. Because that guy's a saint.
And blame me for our friend Dustin. I'll use names, unlike you. Our friend Dustin falling and breaking his leg. Or not his leg, yeah, his ankle, I'm sorry, falling and breaking his ankle.
Now, why would someone who Jake Weddle himself, who is clearly against MrBeast, describes as one of the best people he has ever known, who literally broke his ankle trying to prevent littering, and in Jake's own words, is a saint?
Because that guy's a saint.
Go rogue to try and correct defamatory statements made against Jimmy if Jimmy committed war crimes. The war crime stuff was 100% a joke. I'm now a producer, but I was originally hired as comedy writer with Jake Weddle, so I just wanted to cheer him up with a dumb and edgy joke. Oh, so it was a joke. Dustin actually did say the war crime stuff as a joke. Okay, that makes sense, because in a follow-up video of Jake Weddle's and Dogpack's interview, Jake Weddle seems to slip up, saying it was a joke.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
Before quickly correcting himself.
Which turned out to not be a joke.
And his videos are pretty unedited, so he might have just accidentally let it slip through the cracks. And just to be clear, I'll show the clip of Dogpack's 13 million viewed video again, in which Jake and Dogpack clearly insinuated it wasn't a joke.
I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
It's a really big allegation to say that, like, MrBeast took away your agency and in a sense kind of like forced you into doing this. But I
agree. That is very serious. That's why I alleged it.
And viewing
the tried and true statement, I allege it. Yes, of course. It's the catch-all phrase that prevents you from all legal responsibility. Alleged. Just say that in every video 3 times and you're fine. But yeah, like, the reality is that if you do sleep deprive people, that is a form of torture. But this guy was never in a situation where he couldn't just walk out. Now, he did want to leave at certain points, but they convinced him to stay. But they convinced him to with money. And he took the money. So, like I said, I don't feel too much sympathy for him when he's getting $10,000 a day. Oh no, sleepy time. The lights are on, but I'm making $10,000. I'm very big sad. I'm going to use this money to go start a comedy career in Las Vegas or some... Or was it? I think it was New York. Expensive place to go, New York. So again, the Jake Weddle stuff, it seems like... It's a kind of a nothing burger in the MrBeast drama. There's some very serious things against MrBeast, but this ain't it, chief.
Clearly didn't think it was a joke either. But just as I will rip into Jimmy later in this video, I'll also investigate Jake Weddle's story in more detail later in this video. Because in between him falsely accusing Jimmy of intentionally hiring an RSO and comparing himself consensually agreeing to doing a challenge for $10,000 a day, being allowed to leave whenever he wants to rape victims and victims of war crimes, even though he knew that was a joke.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
As well as spreading fake AI-generated incriminating voice recordings of MrBeast.
Wait, what? Is he making fake voice recordings with AI? That's the first I've heard of this. Very serious if true.
What are our options? Is this legal to say that because I was instructed here? It's only time what my options are here because we're supposed to launch this voice today. Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He's supposed to be a student. He has no idea how much fucking money I spent on that video to subscribe it. Jake, I really take the problem. I think it's possible.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI.
Maybe say that before.
Ah, fuck off. Fuck off. You play it first and then say it's AI? That's a bitch move.
Or playing the recording because you worked at MrBeast and you know how people will just watch the recording and then click off of the video without ever hearing your disclaimer that it was AI generated. Oh, but then you wouldn't get as much money from views because this AI generated disinformation video is the one that got your channel monetized.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And then after making those slanderous claims, except
It's not a good look, Chief. Not a good look. Holy shit.
another $50,000 from Jimmy with no stream.
Alright, so Jimmy sent him a message after this came out. He says, hey, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you mental stress with that video and I apologize. Clearly it had an effect on you. You mentioned you'd like to be paid the rest of the prize money. The other $190,000 and we'd love to make things right with you. I have zero expectations of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. This is just me wanting to help out and make sure you're good. I need to know if you still use the same bank or not. I will send the money on Monday. I wish you the best. He took $50,000 of the $190,000 offer of goodwill from Jimmy, feeling bad for Weddle, even though Weddle slandered him. He stayed for 11 days during the 10,000 per day challenge, and now he got 160,000. So he got more. He only stayed. I thought he was in there for like 30 days. He was in there for 10 days. He was in there for 11 days. 11 days. He was in his room playing, I guess just not doing anything, beating off or something, for 11 days, and he got paid 160,000 fucking dollars. Outrageous. Outrageous.
Attached, there's a lot more to be said about him.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And about how Dogpack manipulated him. But let's first continue.
I'll stay in a fucking room for 10 days for $160,000. Can we hit the goal, chat? $160,000, 11-day stream.
With all of the lies and manipulation of Dogpack404. Now, for the visual learners watching, you'll see that I have behind me a wall.
Alright, now, let's see. He's crossed out MrBeast committed war crimes. I'll accept this one. Intentionally hired IRSO. I accept this one as well, but this is framed in such a way that is ridiculous. Of course, he did not go out looking for a sex offender. Now, knowingly is very different to intentionally. And the question is actually unanswered here, if they knew that or not. At this time, I assume they did not. But why was he wearing masks in the video? So putting the cross through this one, that's a bit disingenuous, I think, of this Soggy Cereal character. Delaware messed up nickname. I can buy that was just a kind of a mistake. Because, yeah, being banned from an actual state is a very rare occurrence. It's a bit of a reach in it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And this wall features most of Dogpack404's accusations. And I say most because at this point there are just so many that I might have forgotten a few. And every time I disprove one of his accusations, it'll be crossed through with red marker. Every time I prove one to be uncertain, I'll add a blue question mark to it. And every time an accusation Dogpack made is true, I'll add a green check mark to it. And I know that you, and I, and everyone else wants to know about the illegal lotteries. Did MrBeast really commit 3 malicious and predatory illegal lotteries as get-rich-quick scheme?
At least one of them was, I think, when we were going through the rules of lotteries. I believe at least one of them was.
I'll talk about them throughout my video in between all of the other accusations, starting right now with the alleged illegal lottery number 3 claim of Dogpack404. Or should I say doctoring up evidence to make more convincing claims you knew to be untrue. Back404. Yeah, Dawson, I'm the first one who noticed. See, for the third illegal lottery, by sure to be in a video live stream, Dogpack claims they only informed people on the website that no purchase was necessary. But, did you read the description? You know, the description which I got via the Wayback Machine, where it literally says free entry available on site? Oh, but wait, you never actually...
Okay, so the reason this is important is, I believe, because this lottery was actually called a sweepstake. And I'm not going to pretend that I know all the rules of the sweepstakes and lotteries in America, because I do not. But I think when we were going through this, the specific one for sweepstakes is that you have to have an option to be able to enter for a free, like if you send in a postcard with your name on it sort of thing. Or you can buy, buy Feastables or buy MrBeast merch to be entered into these things. Now, the inclusion of this tagline, and it was, of course, on the website as well, although the free option is very unlikely to actually be used by anyone, because you had to write, like, basically, a handwritten letter saying why you want to win or something, and it had to be like you have to submit like a 300-word essay or something, or buy like a $2 chocolate bar. So the chance of people actually entering for free is very low, but the option was there. So I guess technically it was legal. Now the running a lottery or essentially gambling for children is something that a lot of people have their own feelings about. And I think that a lot of what MrBeast does with his giveaways is very predatory. But is it illegal? I'm not ready to say that. Is it different from what other companies do? I'm not ready to say that either.
Find the description of that video, did you? You just made it look that way by
Yeah,
doctoring up
that's
this
there
fake
they go.
YouTube UI. So you'd be
You
more
do that.
convincing and it'd look as if you had access to the original video and description. So people would more easily believe you. But I want you, the viewer, to closely compare these two layouts. This one is the UI when he talks about the buy a shirt to be in my video live stream. And this one is the actual current YouTube UI you see whenever DogPack shows a screen recording of public videos you can still watch. And when putting the two side by side, you can see that the UI for the illegal live stream is not the real YouTube UI. Instead of rounded corners, they're sharp, the likes are gone, the upload date is in a completely wrong spot where it has never been, and the button sizes and title fonts just seem off. And no, it's not.
Now, this is a good catch. I wouldn't have thought to check this, and I usually do notice these sort of things. I don't necessarily have a problem of people reproducing things like this. Because sometimes you want to do this for graphical reasons or just for entertainment reasons. But if you're going to make a fake UI, it better be the exact information that you're replicating. Otherwise, that's just defamation. It's just making shit up. So again, this is a really good catch. I probably would have not noticed this.
Because he found an older YouTube UI via the Wayback Machine like I did, because they don't hide likes and YouTube has never had this exact UI. Sure, it had sharp corners once, but not in combination with these exact other UI elements. But you want to know the funniest part? Even the re-uploaded version that DogPack found and then added a manipulative fake YouTube UI to actually had copied the original live stream's description. So even in the re-upload he found, it says that there's a free entry option. Yet he still doctored up this fake UI to make his intentional lies more convincing. Nah, I'm just kidding. Funniest part is that MrBeast verbally says it on stream.
Go shop MrBeast.com, buy the shirt or hoodie. You can be one of the people that come down and compete in the video. It's also a free entry on the site as well. If you just 100 of which are going to be picked from people that buy this shirt or hoodie, or if you enter for free on the site as well, that's an option as well. So,
oh my god, you're so sneaky. Now, when someone is prepared to doctor up evidence to make potentially incriminating lies more convincing, it automatically puts every single one of their accusations that isn't bulletproof into question. So,
yep, that's a really good point as well. And what I mentioned the first time I watched his video, the Dogpack one, it was saying that like a lot of these like silly little things he's putting in detract from his actual arguments, because there is the very real criticism of MrBeast that we've got here so far. And like I said, it takes away from the real arguments. Like, why would you want to make this video just longer for no reason? Like, brevity is the soul of wit, and you're expecting people to watch like a 50-minute video to get to the good shit, the good drama, or the good allegations against MrBeast. You're going to lose a lot of people. Now, again, he did get 14 million views, but I guess he was capitalizing on, I guess, the zeitgeist of Ava Chris Tyson dropping out of MrBeast at the exact time he dropped this. So is he like a genius with his video editing skills to get like the 14 million views, or having the right... I think it's just the right time and place sort of situation. Now, I think this is probably mentioned later on in this video as well, but in the Dogpack videos itself, which for some reason is still in Russian, it says this video is not monetized. First of all, that's impossible to determine currently, because YouTube runs ads on non-monetized videos. So I tried going to my other account that doesn't have ad block on it. No, it's not ad block, sorry, premium. So I'm using YouTube Premium to watch these ones. But I have a non-YouTube Premium account, and I tried playing it, and I did indeed get ads. Now, I can't tell if these are ads put into place by Dogpack, or if they're just by YouTube that does, like I said, run ads on non-monetized videos. But even if these videos are not monetized, there are other ways that you benefit from this. And maybe if it's just for the clout or just for the revenge as well. But like, this dude, with these videos, he's been able to garner almost 700,000 subscribers between 2 videos and a couple of videos that he's releasing and unlisted. 50 million views, 12 million views, like close to 30 million views, which is insane. So whether it's demonetized or not, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because you can still benefit from it anyway. So it's just kind of like a virtue signal, really. It's like, well, I'm not monetizing it. Like, okay. Couldn't you just monetize it and then give the money away anyway if you didn't want to, like, whatever? It seems like such a moot point, but I guess you kind of garner a bit of sympathy when you say it's not monetized. But it's like, well, clearly I'm just doing it because I'm righteous. That would be my assumption for why he included that.
Throughout this video, you'll also see that there are multiple examples of him leaving out crucial details from evidence that would easily disprove the accusations he's making. Because Dawson loves framing things deceitfully to push his personal agenda.
Shopify dashboard. We just have like a random number generator, and then like we just put the number, like there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks the number between 1 and 1,000. Then my people give me the name.
Wait a second! MrBeast is only picking out of the Shopify list? Well, does that mean he's only giving away to paid entries after all? No. You can be part of a Shopify giveaway without having to make any purchase whatsoever. These are some generic examples of how to enter Shopify giveaways for free on the official Shopify website.
Now the question is that did anyone actually receive a prize though from the free entries? Because while you can, it's very easy to say that you can win prizes from free entries, but were they actually given away? Did anyone come forward and say, hey, I was a free entry and I won a prize? Now, I know something about winning free prizes because when I was a child, I won a Game Boy by sending in popsicle sticks, which I guess I had to pay for anyway, so I guess that doesn't count. But so no, I just wanted to mention that story because I'm proud of myself. I won a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Silver. Holy shit, that was the best summer. That was the best fucking summer. That was amazing. You get that letter from the ice cream company and they're like, look, we're sending you a Game Boy and fucking Pokemon Silver. Let's fucking go. Holy shit.
MrBeast scamming someone out of a lifetime of dog food and then tried silencing the so-called victim on Reddit?
As far as fake giveaways go, I'm sort of limited in what I can say without exposing confidential information and getting sued. So my official statement is that sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional. Here's one example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting MrBeast use them in a video. 5 months later, they still haven't received their dog food. I actually sent this post to someone who works at MrBeast, and they said they were going to send it to the PR team. And then the Reddit post got taken down. So I don't know if it got resolved.
Not true. Here is a message from the Reddit user stating MrBeast did reach out to them, as well as everyone else. Apparently this user just hadn't noticed at first because the MrBeast company's email went to the user's spam folder. The issue got resolved, and then the Reddit post got deleted.
Sometimes things...
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional.
Oh, the new Feastables formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey's?
MrBeast changed the formula again.
Alright. This was pretty lazy. Again, like, when I saw this, I was, like, very disappointed. They didn't even bother equalizing the the weight of these. It's just so lazy. And you think you're putting together a 50-minute video, you could at least equalize these for size. But they didn't.
Where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's.
But I will say that Feastables are a shit chocolate bar, from what I understand. And, like, it only has 4 ingredients. Who gives a shit? Oh, less ingredients means it's better. Why? Like, why? Like, that's just the lowest intellect sales pitch you can have. Like, less things equals better, right? No, not necessarily.
And even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's. Luckily, it's just another lie. Dogpack is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving sized 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving sized 60 grams Feastables bar. Instead of
also, I believe Feastables in blind taste tests have always been rated as worse than any other candy bar. If anyone in chat has had a MrBeast Feastables bar, let me know. I know they did change the formula, so maybe the new one is better. I couldn't tell you. But it is very funny that everyone that does the blind taste test just thinks Hershey's just straight up tastes better. And it is also very funny that MrBeast goes on people's videos and like does collaborations, and he says that that Feastables are the best chocolate bar ever, and then people try it and they're like, it's okay, I'll try something else. And MrBeast is just like shocked, going like, oh, what do you mean? No, this is way better. This is way better. And people are just like, no, don't like it. Sorry, just don't like it.
Comparing it to a 1 serving size 35 grams Feastables bar. While if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey's and actually has less calories than the previous formula.
Also, just on the face of it, like, more healthy chocolate bar. Just think about that sentence. Like, it's just so, oh my god, it's so American. Let's have the healthy chocolate bar. No. Chocolate bars are a treat. And they're all bad for you. There's no good chocolate bars.
Pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pit. You know what? Here's a crew member's footage of the 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train being in the pit after they drove them in there.
Shredder is CGI.
Nope. At this timestamp, they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shredder. But I will.
Now, this is another piece of criticism that comes up very heavily in what I've seen from Rosanna. Yes, I smoked my father. How can this be fucking real? That she smoked her father after she grew him into a pot plant. But like I remember seeing one piece of content from like the 3 of them. So it was Dogpack, Jake Weddle, and Rosanna Pisano. And they were talking about how MrBeast was faking videos, and then they were showing videos where they were building houses in Africa or something. And then they were saying that they photoshopped the hospital. And it's like, okay, but they still made the hospital, right? It's like, well, yes, but they made it look nicer for the video thumbnail. It's like, who gives a shit? It's so weird. Like, I think that Rosanna didn't really, like, when I saw that, she seemed like, she was like, why the fuck did I invite this stoner on? But like, she's looking for any allies against MrBeast, but she's so down bad for hating Jimmy. And I was saying, it was kind of funny because it's like, there's a sort of a recursion in life that affects, or that is observable on every single level of life, and especially in the A-log sector, I suppose. You've got MrBeast, like 300 million subscribers, being A-logged by 10 million subscribers, and then you've got channels of like just A-logging all the way down. It's all just A-logging everywhere, and it's kind of funny to me that the kind of things that occur at my level of YouTube, the very small channel, very, very micro channel size, is also repeating at the highest echelon of YouTube. I find that it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me.
I'll say that when they use CGI, it looks fucking terrible, as if it came straight out of a CW show.
This car is digitally lifted.
This car isn't digitally lifted, however, they did change the original red coloring to blue to make a visual distinction between the first rocket car they launched and failed, which was red, and the second one they launched, which succeeded, but was also red. Because they were scared that both cars being red might confuse the audience, so in post, they just changed the second one's color to blue. But there was
so they color shifted, which is actually very easy to do. But then I'm worried that the children will think we're crushing the same car that we're flowing through the air. Better change the color. I mean, that kind of speaks to the audience that MrBeast is really targeting as well, right? But again, it's like a nothing burger. They just digitally change the color of the car.
No digital lift.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying, are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee. But the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
But the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
This accusation of Dogpack404 actually upset this engineering YouTuber who passionately worked on that rocket car for months to get it working, just to have this goober claim that it's fake. But Dawson doesn't care about collateral damage done to others.
Yeah, another problem with the Dogpack video actually is when he was claiming things were fake, he would often not give any reasoning for it. And sometimes he would make very outrageous claims, like this wink was fake in post or something, with just not backing it up whatsoever. And then people would come in and say, no, actually, I did wink. But they're just like, I don't know, it was so strange to just have these. And some of them were like, some of them I believe were jokes, but it was kind of impossible to tell which ones were jokes and which ones weren't. At least for there was like one really obvious one. Like I think it was something about like a dog or something. Talk with the White member for 50 months says, just 700 more honkies to get to 20,000 subscribers. Oh, really? Let's go. Yes, let's fucking go. Like the stream. Share it out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And good times are on the way. The end of November is going to be spicy, my friends. Trust me on this one.
Doesn't mind throwing people in front of non-CGI buses to push his own agenda. He did it with the rocket car YouTuber. He did it with that tricked employee's phone recording they showed without his consent. He tried doing it with me by calling me overdramatic, pressuring me into making a video accusing MrBeast with uncertain and refutable evidence. Which
this guy is a little bit overdramatic, I will say, though. He's a bit zesty.
By now I know to be untrue, which he doubled down on, by the way. Every other commentary YouTuber did it without getting sued. Even though just because a lot of YouTubers tried milking the situation and threw unsubstantiated, easily disprovable accusations out there for clout, views, and money without getting sued, doesn't make it an okay thing to do, Dogpack. Or do you think it's acceptable to make false CP allegations? Which, maybe I should talk about that for a second. See, in a recent video on Rosanna...
Alright, so this is what came out. This is like more recent stuff, and we did mention this at the beginning, and it's on my list of, the big list of MrBeast bad things. So this is so stupid. They post a picture of an 18-year-old Ivanka Trump, where I believe her nipples are exposed, in the Gentleman's Quarterly, I think it was. Now, at the time, in the chat, they thought she was younger. They thought she was like 13 or 14 or something. It says 13 there, so I assume that it was 13. If you post something thinking that it's CP, and it turns out not to be later down the track, that's not better. What? Is it? No. No, I think it's just as bad. I think it's just as bad because you're knowingly, even though it turns out not to be, you're knowingly sharing something that you think is that thing. And you're all watching and maybe probably jerking off and gooning to it. This is a goon Discord or goon group chat or some shit. So even it turns out that she was 18, they should be treated like the maps they are and nailed to the fucking wall. And I think they said that they sent this to the FBI, which is stupid as fuck. And there was also a big fucking snafu here because the Dogpack guy, he downloaded the video or the picture, and then he's like reverse image searching it, and he got a bunch of shit. People they're like, dude, why are you downloading something that you think is CP and then searching for it like just to do your due diligence? I don't know about that, dog. That's a bit of a weird one.
Pansino's channel, Dogpack404 claimed to have access to leaked work chat messages, with one of them being Ava Tyson distributing alleged CP of Ivanka Trump. Except Dogpack doesn't always use the term alleged.
This is the most disgusting one by far. Actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
And he also proudly admitted to having downloaded that uncensored alleged CP on a now deleted community post, and admits to having reverse image searched what he thought was CP in the video. Obviously, Dawson French himself was called out for owning and reverse image searching what he believed was fucking CP, because that is weird and a crime.
Of CP are not protected under First Amendment rights and are illegal contraband under federal law. The legal definition of sexually explicit conduct does not require that an image depict a child engaging in a sexual activity. A picture of a naked child may constitute illegal CP.
All right, wait, I'm going to go back a second. So we're at 25:12. I want to see what was the actual message from Chris Tyson. Okay, disclaimer, she's not
back. Or do you think it's acceptable to make false CP allegations? Which, maybe I should talk about that for a second. See, in a recent video on Rosanna Pansino's channel, Dogpack404 claimed to have access to leaked work chat.
Now, the work chat, so I think it later became a work chat, but originally it was not. It was just like a group chat, but I think MrBeast was in it, so he did know, he was aware of this.
Messages with one of them.
All right, so it says, it's a bit hard to read. Make this larger for my old man eyes. So this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Her modeling agent, John Casablanca or something, has been accused of pedophilia. But reverse image searching this brings up 54 results. Only brings up 54 results. And most are just message board of people using the image randomly. If this is true, they really tried to wipe this shit from the internet. This thread is a nightmare with receipts. How is this shit not being addressed? Ava Chris Tyson, and this was posted in a group. MrBeast main, and I believe MrBeast was in this chat. That just means that Jimmy knew again. Jimmy knew about the Shadman stuff, and Jimmy knew about the Ivanka Trump stuff. Even though it doesn't matter that she was actually 18. Because they were discussing it as if she was 13 in my mind. That implicates Jimmy. Sorry, I'm not sure we can let this one go, Jimmy boy. Not good. Also, yeah, this is so true. Don't let your girls do modeling. And I would go further and say that don't let your kids ever be anything involved with acting. Like, I feel like stage play is fine, you know, like school play, whatever, you know. But, you know, like, don't make your child a child star, because those kids get some of the worst treatment. It's not worth it. The 15 minutes of fame is not worth it. You've seen what happened to, like, Macaulay Culkin and things like that. No, it was not Macaulay Culkin. It was one of his friends. All right, so we'll go back to this one here.
As we deleted that community post to then lie about never having had the uncensored CP on someone else's YouTube video. Funny thing is that it only took 1 hour for people to find this tweet about that exact picture of 18-year-old Ivanka Trump being in a GQ magazine. It legitimately took 1 hour. 1 hour to not falsely accuse someone of distributing CP.
It's like he constantly lies to get himself out of trouble, and only when he's run out of lies and in face of a serious trouble and he's run out of options does he reveal the truth. Then he tries to pull the LOL I said allegedly thing again. I said as Ava alleges. I said in my opinion. I said may. I said if.
This is the most disgusting one by far. Actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
So either Dogpack knew that it wasn't CP and made those false
No, I don't think he knew. I think he's just lazy and didn't do his due diligence on this one. Even though he tried to by reverse image searching, like, sorry, but reverse image searching does not mean you've done, like, an astounding amount of detective work. It takes, like, a fucking second.
Accusations anyways, or he's just a fucking idiot who can't even use Google. But that wasn't the only lie in that video, was it, Dawson?
This isn't a work chat. This is just a small snapshot of a company chat, but it's, I think, one of many. I've heard that there's other company chats that they communicate on.
Yes.
And
it wasn't a work chat. It was created as an NSFW meme chat by already known.
I'm reading this in like Jasper's voice from The Simpsons. You can see President. I can't do it, but you know the word. You can see President's daughters online naked. What a time to be alive. This short-circuited my brain for a second. Very funny. But as we go forward in time, there'll be more and more politicians that'll have their nudes leaked from when they were like Snapchatting people and things like that. Because that's just going to be an artifact of the future, is that we're going to see a bunch of naked pictures of people that are going to be in power when they're 60 years old.
Degenerate Ava Chris Tyson. There's even examples of Ava getting mad whenever anyone talks about anything work-related.
this is just a small snapshot of a company chat. Small snapshot of a company chat.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying, are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee, but the evidence still speaks for itself.
However, at one point it was changed to a work chat by Ava, at which point she also kicked everyone unrelated out of there. But then the chat instantly died because obviously no one else, including Jimmy, wanted to use it as a work chat.
So Jimmy was in there, though. So Jimmy knew that these images were being shared of what they thought was CP. So Jimmy fucking knew. This is like, I think that this one is probably a revelation to a lot of people, because everyone knew the Ava Tyson stuff, but this is just more degenerate gooning stuff that's been happening in the MrBeast compound.
I will say that even though this image is confirmed not to be CP, Ava did seem to think it was at the time, and so this proves that she is even worse than we thought and is a disgusting individual. However, the way Dogpack tried distributing what he believes was a picture of a sexually abused child to thousands of possibly child viewers wasn't to inform people of degenerate Ava Chris Tyson, but instead was to push his own agenda, framing MrBeast into allegedly knowing that Ava was a confirmed pedophile. It's so disgusting. See, I say framing because if you look at all of the messages around that image, it's a huge rant from not just Ava, but other people as well, about pedophiles exposed by the hacker group Anonymous in this Twitter thread she linked with that picture of Ivanka Trump.
Like, if you're sharing the picture while you're talking about the pedos, it doesn't absolve you of the pedo shit.
Because it was in that Twitter thread, as well as a rant about Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire...
Oh, and in the group chat, it wasn't censored picture, I believe, as well, which is an important detail. They went out of their way to find the NIP version.
Pedos, and I don't think context matters here on Ava Tyson's side. I still think this is fucking disgusting. However, I do think context matters for the people perceiving Ava Chris Tyson's messages. I'm sorry, but if I'd see my friend actively ranting about pedophiles and bashing them, I'd actively be convinced to not think they're a pedophile when they send degenerate memes like this.
But they're sending the fucking picture.
Cringe on the inside while thinking that they have a degenerate sense of Zoomer humor. Even Trey Yates, the person who leaked the work chat to Dogpack and Rosanna, refers to those memes as a weird thing Ava found funny in the past, instead of confirmed pedophile messages.
Haha, here's a picture of who I think is a 13-year-old. That's a funny and weird joke. Sorry, that ain't as chief. Doesn't absolve them of anything.
A lot of the edgy type of content and a lot of the...
I'm just being an edgy boy. Here's a picture of a 13-year-old. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. This is actually, yeah, this is sweeping, I agree.
Edgy cringeworthy humor started with Ava. Like, she sent a bunch of messages that probably shouldn't have been sent in a work group chat just because she thought it was funny at the time.
So even he, who actively dislikes MrBeast, didn't even notice.
With all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
But Soggy, Rosanna Pansino and Dogpack404 reported Jimmy Beast to the FBI, so he's gotta be a pedophile. I think people vastly underestimate just how easy you can report someone to the FBI. Even as a non-American citizen myself.
I mean, this was an L for the chick that's now posting feet pics while she's smoking her father after she turned him into weed. But Jimmy knew. Jimmy fucking knew. Jimmy knew. Times 2. Jimmy knew. That rhymes. Which means it's true. Oops.
I just created this entire forum of Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, distributing CP in 2 minutes on tips.fbi.gov, which I will now submit to the FBI. Soggy Cereal reported Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French to the FBI. Holy shit, they've gotta be guilty now. See what I did there? Also, I didn't submit this because unlike 2 other creators, I'd rather not waste the FBI's time from finding actual CP distributors to push a selfish, manipulative, and personal agenda. And manipulating Rosanna Pansino so you could use her bigger channel to spread this disinformation is so vile. Look, I knew you were petty, Dawson, but I never expected you to stoop this low. He also tried dragging the famous anime Higehiro and its fandom through the mud by saying it's about a 26-year-old having a romantic relationship with a minor.
Let's see if Jimmy knew about Ava's concerning behavior. June of 2021, he sends a message of an anime called Higehiro, or Higehiro, says, I bet Chris would love this show. Why?
Alright, so I don't know about this anime. I think that someone summarized it as like a runaway child gets taken in by an adult. It seems kind of dodgy to me, but that does actually happen in Japan. Like, there's like a runaway kids, the Toyoko kids, and they kind of run away from their families as like, you know, like 16 to 18-year-olds, and they kind of just live in Tokyo on the streets, and they typically fall into like prostitution and things. It's like, it's not a great situation. I think that story is kind of based around that sort of thing. It is kind of weird to send it, to have that sort of anime and then say, "But Jimmy would love this one." That is a bit off. That's a bit weird. But I couldn't tell you because I don't know about that anime in particular.
This show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask because the show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway.
Jimmy in the chats is saying, I bet Chris would love
Basically,
this show
Lolita the
because
anime,
it's
apparently.
right up her alley.
I'm going to defer to the chat on this one.
And MrBeast saying Ava would love this? Even though the anime is about the exact opposite.
He posted that one thing about the anime with the like adult getting into a relationship with a.
That's okay. Okay, here's the thing. That's a lie. That is such a bullshit lie. Yes, it is. Yes,
he
it
literally
is.
said.
No. He
literally said, I
the
think
context.
like
The context of that anime. That show is about a 26-year-old guy. Okay, he takes in this runaway girl who is selling herself to prostitution. She's like 17 or whatever, 16. I don't remember. She's 17, 16. She's selling her body because she ran away from home because some other shit happened. And I remember this because my friend tried showing this to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It turned out it was actually a very wholesome show about this dude kind of teaching her like how to get through like all this trauma that she had in her life. There was never any romantic intentions there. Sure, if you watch the anime in the first episode, the girl was coming on to him, but the guy rejected her and saw her as a daughter. That whole show, he had a whole nother love interest in that show. This whole time. This was never about the dude getting into a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old.
You guys actively pissed off the entire anime.
Yeah, never piss off the anime people. If you disrespect their animes, they're gonna come for you.
Side of Twitter with this one. So this again more so proves Jimmy didn't know.
So with all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
Want to know the worst of all? Dogpack and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture as clickbait for their fucking thumbnail. They even A/B tested 3 versions of it. You know, just trying to get some more views by putting alleged CP in your quirky thumbnails. Will the allegedly abused child garner more views with a red background or the pink background? Following their logic, they are now both confirmed pedophiles and should.
That is very funny that they actually had the so the A/B testing thing is if you don't do YouTube, you can upload 2 thumbnails and YouTube will show different thumbnails to different people. For example, you could be posting this thumbnail or this thumbnail, and then the YouTube algorithm will decide which one is more demonic. I don't know, like the face is more demonic here. But there's something so insidious about having this child crying that he's just like, I cleared your vision up, child. Like, this is a very weird photo. But yeah, you can use it to find out which one has a better click-through rate and also watch duration time, and you know, select it for the better. It's actually a really good feature, but you probably wouldn't be aware of it if you just view videos rather than make videos.
Have 100% known that of one another. I can't, dude. I can't. And this video, where they do all this, Dogpack dares to try and invalidate my past accusations that his video IDs he came up with while working at MrBeast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. Like, maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for mastectomies and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
With a thumbnail and title like these? Oh, wait. If this wasn't supposed to be creepy or weird.
Right, what does this say? He also made multiple weird, inappropriate, disrespectful jokes towards colleagues, such as we should do 1,000 boob transplant videos, stuff that creeped out co-workers, all within 3 weeks of working there. My understanding is that the Dogpack had some pretty crazy ideas as well. Like he was like, Jimmy should just get loaded on every fucking drug imaginable. Let's see coked out Jimmy and see if that there's a good YouTube video. Like it's a bit strange. It's a bit strange.
Then why did you make sure to...
Wait, there's a plugin that adds MrBeast to every thumbnail on YouTube. I used it for a while because it made the site look hilarious, but I forgot that I had it installed and it scared me. That is actually really funny. I have not seen that one. I have not seen that one. I'll have to check that out. That is... Why would you do that, though?
Blur the title and thumbnail.
It's funny, I'll admit. It's funny.
Don't be shy. I still got the sharp version. Oh, was it because...
I bought 1,000 boobs. Censored out the bras because of respect. It's a... What do you mean respect? They're modeling bras. Of course they want to be seen. Oh, dear. Dear, dear, dear. So I guess these are all the Dogpack suggestions. Is that the one?
4 objectified headless pairs of boobs with the MrBeast clickbait face and the title, I bought 1,000 boobs. Wasn't in line with your I'm not a weird creep agenda.
You know what they should have done? They should have made I bought 1,001 boobs. I need that odd number in there just to see what happens.
You were trying to push? Yeah, this, it's about cancer awareness message seems more like you realizing your manager didn't think that joke objectifying women was, funny, and you're then desperately trying
Objectifying women is funny. I'm gonna die on that hill.
to save your own skin by, you know, using cancer, especially when you also sent in these work IDs, such as Baby Battle Royale with, baby...
I was not prepared for that one. Baby Battle Royale. Put babies in a circle with weapons. If the baby leaves or cries, they lose. I mean, I could see that. Like, if you do it with, like, Nerf guns, I could actually see that. Like, that could work, potentially.
He's carrying assault rifles, or MrBeast does every drug challenge.
Drug 19. What is this one? 100 rich versus 100 poor people? I want to see more of these videos. Wait, where can I see these thumbnails? These are incredible.
Were those
I'm stealing these
Breast
ideas.
Cancer Awareness Month? Also, didn't you say that MrBeast is mainly targeted to our kids?
Encouraging like almost children simping for these people. I would say he's gained most of his audience since then, and his content's only gotten younger. Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds.
What happened to that claim?
Don't exploit babies? Okay. I'm just saying. Baby Battle Royale, trying every drug. I bought 1,000 boobs. I mean, I can see why they fired him, but like, look, this guy is he's a modern Renaissance man. We need to learn from the wisdom of this drugged out in the cornfields man. Oh wait, I don't have the picture of him anymore. This man. This is the man that brought you such great ideas, such as I bought 1,000 boobs, Baby Battle Royale, and trying every single drug on the planet, including bath salts. Like, what do you mean by this? Trying every drug. Take every drug, Lamol. He submitted this as a business meeting? Holy shit. That's hilarious.
At the end of the video to say that...
Teehee, just a funny joke.
That it was some twisted parody. But, nope, they seem pretty proud of their slanderous content where they admitted to committing multiple alleged federal crimes. So, same time next week? But his collateral damage doesn't end with allegedly abused children. He also uses old people. For example, he tried using contestant 58 from the ages 1 to 100 video by claiming that he didn't really wink.
In this video, this wink was added in post.
And that number 58 didn't hear number 42 getting out of the booth.
That 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him.
And because of that, number 58, a 58-year-old man, was so confused and getting harassed online to the point he felt that he had to make a TikTok about it.
Hey guys!
Old man making a TikTok? I don't know about this. This is pretty sus.
Mr. 58. Been a while since I've posted anything, but something's really been concerning me a little bit. I've been seeing things on the internet that have said I didn't wink in the MrBeast video 1 to 100. I did wink. I winked a few times, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, when I watched the Dogpack video, that was one of the things I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? How do you know that this is a digitally altered wink? What are you talking about? Where's the evidence for this? And he never provided anything.
The other thing that's been said is I didn't hear 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. Yes, I heard 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. I did it on my own accord to step out with 2 seconds left on the clock. I know of nothing in that video that was staged whatsoever, and I don't know why these rumors are going over the internet that these things didn't happen. Everything that I did in that video, and nothing was edited after the fact. Everybody be good and have a great day.
This is just sad. I
agree. Old people using TikTok is sad. Now, I do have a TikTok, but I just dump things there. I don't actually use it or anything.
Got mad seeing this old sweet guy get so upset. And what was Dogpack's proof for these claims? Well, I've got to preview the 1 to 100 video once, so now you've got to believe every baseless claim I make around it. Because you're so trustworthy, Dawson. I'd rather believe the sweet old guy who literally was in the video.
Everybody be good and have a great day.
He did it with Mark Bates, a random subscriber contestant.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million. I literally was in this video right here, and all I did was subscribe. I had no relationship with MrBeast or anything like that. And they flew me down to North Carolina. I live in Cleveland, and changed my life forever. Literally, all I did was subscribe.
Who won $1 million and then made a video after winning that prize, which Dogpack just took a very out of context clip from.
Another example of things slipping through the cracks.
The second thing that I probably would do different is invest. I talked to Jimmy after I won $1 million, after I finally got the remaining amount in my bank account. I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be like how everybody's saying, like I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So
oh no, he didn't.
I mean, that's on that guy though. You guys want to hear it? You want me to enhance the audio and playback? Is that what you guys want? I think I know what you guys want. Okay, hold on a second. I didn't have it. I didn't have it prepared. Let's see this one. No, it's not that one. Shit, what was that?
Might be just getting back from work or possibly late at night and you hear super annoying. Now, this is common if it's a battery-powered smoke detector.
Sorry, I got the wrong video loaded up first. It's over, guys. The chirp stream is over.
Then that's for Mark. Oh wait, what's this clip right after? Which Dogpack conveniently didn't put in his video?
Invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So yeah, and let me clarify. Jimmy did help me. Because I know, like I said, I know y'all be like, oh, he didn't help him. He did help me financially, but like giving me money he did give me funds.
Oh,
what is this music that's playing in the
MrBeast
background?
still funded Mark even after winning and spending the $1 million? Okay, apparently they just had him on a monthly salary at the MrBeast company without him having to perform any work there. Well, this guy's a victim. Mark Bate himself was so fucking frustrated from Dogpack using this out-of-context clip to push his personal agenda that he made 2 more videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from Dogpack's followers.
Channel everywhere. You guys been saying that I'm a victim of MrBeast and that he didn't help me.
I mean, like this guy got like $1 million and Jimmy didn't help him invest the money into a sustainable business or like an investment. So you put in like a $1 million investment away, you can probably withdraw like $20,000 to $30,000 a year for the rest of your life if you do it conservatively, right? It's all of his fault. Like, oh, gave me money, help me, Jimmy. I don't have any sympathy for this person either. He subscribed and he got $1 million. Well, we should all be so fucking lucky.
And talking about everything. It's not my story, so I really wanted to get up here and tell you guys that MrBeast really did come through for me, Jimmy. I love you.
Dogpack doesn't give a shit about who or what he uses or whose life he ruins just to push his own narrative, and it's fucking disgusting. Showing out-of-context clips and snippets is something that Dogpack does a lot, by the way. He also did it with Mac when MrBeast asked him what he was going to do with the $800,000 he won.
What are you going to spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine. And they don't have a lot of money. I'm going to make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore. I mean, my life's changed now.
Oh, wow. He's going to give it to his 3 less fortunate friends? Well, that is so kind. Let's see what Dawson made of this.
Bathrooms.
What are you going to spend the $800,000
I think this set is actually a set that was stolen by MrBeast, allegedly, by the guy that was like the Mario, the floating platforms. It's supposed to look like like Super Mario World or something. So that's another kind of little drama, that little snafu that MrBeast wrapped himself up in. That seems to be true.
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really going to change your life.
Oh, he got
Yes! Are you fucking serious? $800,000 is gonna... Yes, it is. That's life-changing money. You wanker, Dogpack. Oh my goodness. There's no good people in this story. They're all wankers.
That whole part out to insinuate Mac was going to spend it on more bathrooms in his huge mansion that he didn't even have.
Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into a $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
See, I saw the actual property listing and, well, obviously I can't show this, so you've got to trust me on my word. But the house is on the name of another editor at MrBeast, which Mac was sleeping over at because he himself didn't have a house. But Soggy, didn't you expose Mac for being a liar? Why are you now picking his side? I don't pick sides, nor do I just blindly hate every person I criticize. What am I? A disgruntled employee acting like a toddler? Mac left Iraq after all. And by the way, I've never seen Mac try and use fake CP to push a personal agenda. Also, Dogpack, take that clip from my video out of yours, because now you're using my content to push your lies.
So over the next 7 days, I'm going to be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
How is this legal? I don't get it. All you have to do is subscribe to your channel.
All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe.
It's a scam. Holy shit.
All right, is this a scam though? Like, giveaways are a very easy way to kind of garner subscribers, but if you're doing it legally, then there's no problem there. The question is just, is he actually giving away the phones?
Giveaway was legit. Here you can see old testimonies from random subscribers who won and got contacted by MrBeast. Also, PewDiePie never bashed that clip. It's just another example of Dogpack's manipulative editing. Now, even though we've only touched the tip of the...
That's actually really interesting though. Like, I was kind of curious, like, why would PewDiePie be making so much fun of MrBeast? Like, I thought they were friends, right? At certain points, like during the T-Series, the run-up to T-Series, at least until the Christchurch shooting, MrBeast and PewDiePie were on pretty good terms, and I heard there was a little bit of drama between them after PewDiePie moved to Japan, but that's kind of unsubstantiated, and it mostly comes out of what's the guy, Connor Dog or something, a streamer from Twitch. Also, very funny to see that Twitch is collapsing and that the adpocalypse has hit them because of Hassan and his dumb shit political takes. Very happy to see them suffer.
Lies of Dogpack iceberg so
but
far.
I just enjoy Schadenfreude, so...
why would you knowingly spread all of this disinformation? Now, Dogpack, something you really shouldn't say because it would make you look real dumb, is either...
He mentioned the fact that he is not a professional journalist or investigator, just a guy throwing allegations around for other people to properly investigate.
As you did in a desperate attempt to save the little credibility you had left after falsely accusing someone of domestic violence and kicking their dog in your third video. Because...
I know, so Twitch isn't kill, but like I think like 5 massive advertisers have pulled out. And it's basically because Twitch, Hassan and his Twitch crew were like going all in on the Palestine memes. Now Hassan blames Asmongold. Asmongold blames Hassan. It's kind of like, it's all Twitch shit, but I'm just happy to see them suffer. Whoever loses, we win.
This is what you said in your first video, which I'm also disproving.
And I don't want to put a lot of like hearsay into this video. You should.
Oh, actually, yeah. One thing was that like kind of interesting that I was kind of thinking about mentioning, but it's kind of like not really my wheelhouse. But like Ludwig made a video where he was saying, like, he said the words more or less. Asmongold is blaming Hassan, and Hassan is blaming Asmongold. But then he edited out the Hassan part. Literally, he's a puppet with Hassan's hand up his ass, and Hassan sent him a shower text saying, "Oi, you better edit out that part of you saying that Asmongold's blaming me." And then they've got like side-by-side comparisons of the video. He literally post-edited the video, but you can do that on YouTube. And he clipped out the part where he said that Hassan might be guilty of something. Absolutely ball-washing behavior for Hassan. Pathetic.
Just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
Well, I've looked at the receipts, Dawson, and so far they're telling me that you're a lying asshole. And before you try and defend yourself with plausible deniability, I'll just play this clip.
MrBeast knows this, but you know, he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Also, me disproving cheap attempts at slander from this guy doesn't mean I'm defending this guy. I know a lot of people believe in the delusion that defending MrBeast is the safe option. I know there's people who have been living under a rock lately, but defending MrBeast right now is actual career suicide.
Yeah, like, even when I was criticizing MrBeast the last time I talked about this, people were coming after me because I said that Dogpack was not a very reliable storyteller in this little video. And it's like, Dogpack is doing the Lord's work. How dare you criticize him, you MrBeast ball washer. And no, like I said, I think both of these guys are pretty shit. Now, unfortunately, Jimmy knew, so he's the bigger piece of shit. But Dogpack is not like some beacon of knowledge and anything. But unfortunately, like I said, there's not a lot of room on the internet for people with nuanced takes. If you take like a strong hardline position, it's much more popular than saying, oh, maybe this is a bit more complicated, guys. Like, shut up! Just say this person's bad. Just say one person's bad. But it is what it is. I think both of these people are pretty unreliable.
While regurgitating Dogpack's lies is the easy and safe way to generate millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in my opinion, blindly taking either side should be heavily frowned upon, because there are some very questionable and fucked up decisions MrBeast has made that he needs to be held accountable for. And I'll get to that. However, to effectively criticize him, help genuine victims, and hold him morally and legally accountable, we must first clear the table of all of the lies that have been spread by Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, such as the lie of Feastables using child slavery. It takes a single
Okay, let's see this one. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Like, if they outsource the companies growing cocoa beans or something, it really wouldn't surprise me to learn that there's some sort of child slavery involved. I mean, isn't there, like, child slavery involved in cell phones, essentially? Pretty sure that is the case. Like, lithium mines, right?
Google search to find several public articles to prove that from October 2023, the same time when they took their slave-free banner off of the Feastables website, they've been in talk...
Wait, they had a slave-free banner on their website and then it mysteriously removes? I don't know. Maybe I will buy some Feastables. Who can say? Just kidding. Come on.
To join Tony Chocolonely's Open Chain Ethical Sourcing Initiative, and did so officially from March 2024, which if you don't know, Tony Chocolonely's is a Dutch chocolate brand known for their goal to produce chocolate as ethically as possible, and one of few companies legitimately doing so. I mean, now Feastables is the first major US-based company who joined them with the goal to actively reduce child labor and slavery in the chocolate production process. But then, why they take slave-free banner off of Feastables' website? Well, dear Dogpack, already typing that question up on Twitter, you can literally read the answer on the Tony Chocolonely's website. Why did you make the switch from slave-free to exploitation-free? We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one issue in the cocoa industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too. Our mission statement needs to be inclusive of all the work we do today, from addressing multidimensional poverty to remediating child labor and everything in between. What?
Do you guys buy that? I don't know, like changing slave free to exploit free because slavery doesn't include exploitation apparently. I don't know if I buy that. That sounds like it sounds like they figured out there was a couple slaves in the command chain and they wanted to cover their asses. I don't buy that argument. I'm sorry. I think that children are working in the cocoa mines all day for the Feastable crew. Like, that seems like such a weird I don't buy that. I don't buy that. They could say slave free and exploit free, but why would you remove the word slave? That's a big doubt for me right there.
Wow, it took one Google search to not falsely accuse someone of using child slavery?
But this guy, you're jumping to conclusions though. Like, you're just reading what they say on the website and just assuming that that is fact. I don't know necessarily. Is there any critical thinking here? That maybe the thing that the company, the big cocoa is saying is maybe not 100% accurate. Like, maybe they get to use a little bit of slavery as a treat. And that's why they say they're trying to be less slaves or something. I don't know. I don't just because they changed their description, I don't necessarily buy that. They removed slave free. So, I question that.
Yes. For the people who don't know, Dogpack did falsely accuse someone of DV and AB.
MrBeast, Dogpack404, put out his third video, MrBeast's Secret CEO, in which he was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, MrBeast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him and he looked into it himself.
Yeah, this was a fucking disaster for Dogpack. In a video he did, he acknowledges that there's a lot of James Warrens in the county, so he wasn't sure if it was the right one. That's not a good thing to include in your video. You want to be razor sharp sure on this one.
To find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging him to take it down. Disclaimer, he took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up. He also made life-ruining allegations against Lakoya Hill.
Yeah, I don't know about this guy, Lakoya Hill, but he was like a gay promoter for clubs or some shit.
The person that made the decision to fire Dogpack. Here's an audio clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm COO.
Why does it say older RuneScape soundtrack? I assume this is just a very funny little detail. But all of these things are titled older RuneScape soundtracks. So I guess this guy's got like a RuneScape history or something. But Lakoita Hill, I guess. But what are the allegations of Lakoita Hill? There was, if I go back a second. Before we get to the recording,
No, Dogpack did falsely accuse someone of DV and
So we have to go past this one.
MrBeast doxed James Warren, MrBeast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him, and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging him to take it down. Disclaimer, he took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up. He also made live...
Alright, here it is. Lakota Hill. Suspect number 3 posting a gym pic of Mr. That's okay. That's kind of rude. That's kind of rude. So, Lakota Hill, like, I can't see what it says here. That's unfortunate. But I seem to recall, but I think this video is down now, so I can't check it. But I seem to recall he was saying that he was like a promoter for like a gay club or something, and he was into domestic violence. And I'm not sure. My memory's not perfect on this one. Maybe someone in chat can verify that. I'm entranced. Look, I'm just trying to drink in the Energy King, okay? I see him there. The chocolate men. They're waiting there.
Against Lakota Hill, who was the person that made the decision to fire Dogpack. Here's an audio clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm a boy. I'm our CEO. Part of my job is you're pushing back on everything.
It's Lakoya, oh boy.
Because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, you can interrupt me. And I'm telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of it.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance? Just, I'm getting paid. Just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Woody changes his mind, can I? And I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time.
I wonder why he's trying to destroy Lakoya's life.
I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what I'm doing.
Or Doc Scara.
That's pretty funny. Like he gets fired by this like gay club promoter or some shit, and then he's like, "Please give me the job back." No, I'm talking. You're trying to fire me. No, you're fired. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Fuck off. Then he starts like, defaming it. Like, but I'm pretty sure there was some actual allegations against Lakoya Hill, but I don't remember what they are. Lakoya Hill. Who is Lakoya Hill? Let's have a look at what this says. Let's take a quick detour. Alleged MrBeast team member Lakoya Hill had faced serious allegations in a new Dogpack video, later posted a 20-minute video entitled MrBeast Secret CEO, where he speaks about various employees connected to Jimmy. One of them is Lakoya, who is named the Chief Operating Officer. Around 12 minutes into the video, the later shared a screenshot of a text exchange allegedly MrBeast employee, his former employee, claimed that Lakoya Hill had a history of inappropriate behavior with his assistant, unnamed, such as booking hotel rooms with single beds and showing them their sex toys. So he literally works for Gay 90s and he's showing them the baldo. Here's what the message read. Lakoya Hill, the current CEO in 2021, had an assistant named Censored. I heard Lakoya acted very inappropriately with Censored, booking hotel rooms with only one bed, walking around in his underwear, having Censored come into his house and showing him his sex toy collection. For Mr. Boy, what else? MrBeast moved him into a dubbing company and he was hired back. Oh, that's right. I remember that. They fired him for this one, didn't they? MrBeast moved him into a dubbing company and he was hired back in MrBeast in 2023. He was promoted to CEO, even though Jimmy, MrBeast, and soon knew 100% of his history. Let's see what else he is. So they moved him into the dubbing company. So MrBeast also dubs all of his content into different languages, which I don't think will be surprising to many people, but maybe you haven't heard it. Like Spanish and Japanese and everything. And actually, the Japanese voice of MrBeast is the same voice actor as Naruto from the show Naruto. And I know this because when I was showing someone around Osaka and they told us that we were talking to people and they said that they liked MrBeast videos. And I was like, really? That's weird. That's weird. And then they told us about the MrBeast stuff. So that he's got the same voice as Naruto. Or Naruto. Naruto. People get annoyed when I say Naruto. But I do love Naruto. Not really, but... yeah, so they just kind of juggled him through the company, apparently. Lakoya Hill, the reason he'd been asked to leave previously is that he had sexual harassment against someone that still worked at the company when he was brought back. And they brought him back knowingly. And then moved him to the thing. Looking at more accusations... Contact with the company, wondering whether there's anything he can corroborate. Have you ever heard of Lakoya Hill? The old gay guy who likes to bang 18-year-old straight employees? Yeah, I've heard of him. Anything non-consensual to your knowledge? He got in trouble for trying to hook up with an 18-year-old assistant. Okay, that's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty bad. Is Soggy Cereal not going to address that? I feel like that's a detail that should be included.
Hiring manager.
Or put a picture of his manager on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite. Coincidentally, all three of those people were in the room when Dogpack was fired.
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA.
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge. Yes.
We will lie if we have to. I mean, of course. I just try to be honest, I guess.
What is selfless hero? You know, a selfless hero who, whenever he can, mentions that he didn't make these slanderous videos with any personal gain in mind.
That's like the whole point of this is the video's not monetized. It's on a new account.
Wait, what do you mean that's the whole point? You didn't say that.
Like, you know, in the description of my video, it says, or in the intro too, it says this is not monetized. Because if it's monetized...
Again, you can't actually verify that it's not monetized unless a YouTube employee comes out and states this, because ads do play on the video, and YouTube does play ads on non-monetized videos and non-monetized channels, which I think is pretty lame. But they do that. So this is a nice thing to claim, but something that ultimately we cannot verify.
Monetized, then people think I'm just doing it for clout and money.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
That was the guy, the guy he was just talking to, Ludwig. That's the guy that's currently Baldo washing Hassan and covering up for him.
Manipulation. Him saying he's not gaining anything out of these videos is extremely deceptive. He gained 700,000 loyal subscribers, collaborations with huge creators, which he's clearly trying to abuse, and it's all built on lies, deceit, and manipulation. If there is one person...
Hey, just like every YouTube channel, am I right, guys?
...who gained anything from all this, it's Dogpack. And purely out of principle, I'm putting a mid-roll ad here. Here, Dogpack talks about how MrBeast scammed everyone by having people pay to get their memes sent to them.
Based ad-enjoying YouTube creator Soggy Cereal. Even though Soggy is a bit annoying, honestly, in my opinion. And a lot of his claims, he seems to be forgetting a lot of details. And he's glossing over the very serious things, such as the Avis shit, and I guess the Lakota Hill stuff. But I like that he put an ad in his video just to spite this other guy. That's funny.
The rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch, just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about a second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company MrBeast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships and our ability to secure additional missions in the future. S Robotic already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission for NASA later this year. And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Side note,
I mean, like, MrBeast can't be blamed for that, though. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, wait, is this the one that blew up in Japan? Because there was like a rocket launch in Japan that fucking blew up. It was actually really close to me, and I didn't know about it. I could have gone and watched it. I'm really sad that I missed that one. Shit.
Dogpack also uses another very manipulative tactic, where he shows this stinky, dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission, while in reality, the actual spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high-quality Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
Yeah, but like what are you saying, that rinky-dink rocket? That was a Japanese rocket. Make it like, look at this. It's got the Japanese media.
Rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying.
And like when you look at the side of it, look, it's got like Japanese hiragana on the rocket as well, the moon runes. But it didn't get them to the moon, unfortunately. What do you mean this is a rinky-dink rocket? That's my country, my glorious Japanese rocket. How dare you defame my Japanese rockets that explode? Anyway.
This Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
Stop Asian hate, exactly.
Launching a new era in spaceflight to the moon and beyond.
Stinky dinky rocket. High quality spacecraft carrying the hard drive with memes from MrBeast. Dogpack's manipulation. Reality. But Soggy, what about the insider knowledge he has from working there?
In my opinion, as somebody who worked for MrBeast,
it has been proven time and time again, he only worked there for 20 workdays. As a new employee in like a 250 to 300 employee company, you're not gonna get much credible insider knowledge in 20 days. But he also had anonymous text messages from ex-MrBeast employees. Well, see, I have two notes on that. One is that I feel like anonymous text messages can be used as tangible proof if either you have the receipts to back them up, or you as a person can be trusted to not have faked or manipulated them. Which
yeah, that's a big part. That's a big part of journalism, is that you really do need to build up that credibility. And like I said at the very beginning, is that Dogpack destroyed his credibility with the very beginning of that video, and then at the end of the video with that fucking 2-minute SpongeBob montage and things. But like, this is what used to be, like, journalists used to build up a long career of reporting the facts and having accurate sources, so that when they had an anonymous source, you could trust them. I don't know how I can believe anything that Dogpack says at this point, because he just makes up things from the very beginning of his video. These may very well may be real anonymous MrBeast employees and contestants, but there's no way for me to, and no reason for me to trust this dude.
I don't think we can trust Dawson on that one. And two, even if those messages are from legitimate ex-MrBeast employees, they're wrong. This text, for example, which Dogpack uses as a foundation for MrBeast rigging his challenges, according to them, after a shift change in the 100 Boys v Girls video, no girls were eliminated when closing off their circles, so it was pretty much rigged. They think? Okay, love the lack of confidence in their own claims, and the lack of confidence makes...
Alright, so regardless of the claims of confidence or whatever this shit is, I 100% believe that the 100 boys versus 100 girls was rigged, because it's a very contentious issue, and if you have the boys fucking blow out the girls' side, then people are going to get grumpy. So I absolutely believe that they rigged it in such a way that was beneficial to the girls, because they wanted like a photo finish. And I mean, I think that's just show business, so I actually don't have that much of a problem with it. I mean, I do think it's disingenuous, but like, it's entertainment purposes. It's not like, this isn't like the fucking Olympics. It's a MrBeast YouTube video. But if you told me that MrBeast faked that video, I would 100% believe you.
Sense. Because if you simply watch the 100 Girls v Boys video, you can clearly see a girl got eliminated during that part of the challenge. And in this behind the scenes video, you can even see how many cameras they had to make sure the challenge wasn't rigged.
So we could constantly monitor it. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show.
How many cameras did they have in the porta potty though? That's the real question.
6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle, because if they just touch the red line, they're out.
He also used this video as a prime example of MrBeast never using random subscribers, even though multiple people who can be identified by their nameplate can be proven to be random, non-influencer contestants from outside of North Carolina.
They are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Yeah, Dawson. Because they were filling in for contestants who had COVID at the time. You can see MrBeast's girlfriend publicly talking about this in a podcast from years ago, by the way.
I saw on your Twitter that you were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes, that was an accident. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID test, and they tested positive. And the girls somehow ended up with way too little contestants. So I got a call randomly from the studio, and they're like,
Women more susceptible to the coof. I should have fucking known it was them all along, spreading everything.
like, we need a female.
What, you wanted them to let contestants with COVID participate in the challenge? And in this podcast, she also says that the contestants were informed beforehand that even if they lost, they
really
still receive the $5,000 prize money.
Which was the plot twist. Even if you leave, you get to keep the $5,000.
No, that should have been the plot. The plot twist should have been that one person is infected with the coof, and they have to try to eliminate them. So it becomes like a like Lord of the Flies situation where they're like bashing each other over the head, kicking people out of the circle because they don't want to get infected by the coof. That would be really funny. Now, that would be some serious entertainment.
Makes it easier for people to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So the goal was, it was sort of a psychological test, really.
And people know that if they left, that they would still win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the big plot twist, which I'm a huge fan of.
So not only were you wrong on all accounts, this is probably the worst video you could have possibly tried building your case on, that MrBeast challenges are rigged. And then your only other example of this accusation is the "in 10 minutes this room will explode" video.
I'm going to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. And the timer is clearly added in post.
Okay, this is just getting embarrassing at this point, but you sent me this picture, Dawson, to seem more credible by proving you were on the set of a video. And if you look real closely at the picture that you took, you'll notice that it's the set from the 10-minute video, where you can see that the timer was in fact not added in post.
So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
Assume.
Yeah, you're going to tell me that a video where a room's going to explode and a guy has to make it through the underwater escort mission, that they're not going to maybe have a safety coordinator or some faking shit there so the guy doesn't fucking die? Imagine my fucking shock to learn that the video where the room's going to fucking explode wasn't really going to explode if the dude was up there. Wow. Yeah, I can't believe it.
My ass. You didn't assume shit. You're breaking your NDA by spreading confidential info you knew from being on that set. And yes, I do give permission to anyone whose life got damaged by Dawson French to use my video against him in court.
The producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general.
Yeah, but he'll fucking drown if they don't. What are you worried? It's a fucking YouTube video. I don't give a shit. Like, this guy's gonna fucking drown. Like, oh no, Oh, another watery grave on the MrBeast set. Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
To make the results close?
No, they did it for safety, as to not force someone to exert extreme force trying to turn valves underwater in a room submerged in water. Just like they replaced contestants who had COVID with employees, because for safety reasons. A thing you so vehemently claim they lack at the company. Same with this video, where a safety team forced the MrBeast crew off of their raft in the 7 Days Stranded at Sea video for about an hour because of this dangerous lightning storm. Wait, what was it you said again?
You can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But you didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If the video is called 7 Days on the Raft and they have to evacuate because of a storm, that should be part of the video. Like, I'm afraid that Dogpack is correct here, that they did fake this video. If they got off for safety reasons, they weren't really stranded in the middle of the ocean. That is, I mean, that's the correct thing to do. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were just sleeping on the production yacht, because the same thing happened with Bear Grylls, right? Like the first season of Bear Grylls, he would always just go to the hotel or get it like a fucking sandwich. Yeah, I think this video was fake. Absolutely.
Yeah. You lied about them allegedly sleeping on a luxurious production yacht. No, they were forced to stay on a rusty barge for about an hour for their own safety and went back on their
Is there photos of this rusty barge?
as soon as a life-threatening lightning storm passed. And here is video proof from the rusty barge.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Fair enough. That's not a rusty barge. It's a ferry. It's just a boat.
Wow.
I spent a day on a boat like last week. This is not a rusty barge. Come on now.
What a luxurious yacht. Now you can still argue about the fact that they went off of the raft, but
I mean, didn't even like that the exterior of boats. Like, have you ever seen like the Deadliest Catch, right? The Deadliest Catch, they have boats that look much worse than that on the outside, and then internally they have like saunas and shit because they're in the middle of the fucking Arctic Ocean. They can die from hypothermia. So yeah, they have luxurious things like saunas and beds in those boats. The outside of the boat does not prove it's a rusty barge. It's so disingenuous. Like, again, if you're showing this person, Dogpack, to be a disingenuous person, you don't want to be disingenuous yourself because it's going to destroy your credibility as well.
I don't think it's faking a challenge when you're forced by your safety team to leave your raft once to get on a rusty barge for about an hour to sit out a life-threatening lightning storm.
Well, if you're describing the video as 7 days at sea and then you're not on the raft for the entire time, I do think that is faked. You could include that in the video, like we attempted 7 days on the raft and then we had to leave. You have to kind of bring those things up because if you get off the raft once, even if it's for a safety concern, the question remains, how many times could they have gotten off anyway? If the boat's right there, they can get off any time because of safety emergencies, then is it such a stretch to imagine that they may have spent a few hours, getting a few hours sleep on the raft? We don't, I mean, on the rusty barge? It completely takes the credibility away from it. You have to put these things out in the video. If it does not say that we had to evacuate for 1 hour in the video, then it's straight up lying.
Get back on the raft as soon as possible. It's making sure people don't die. On one side, you're preaching, the MrBeast company isn't safe enough.
Wow.
But then you use every single example of them actually implementing safety protocols against them as if they're doing it to rig challenges or not always use random subscribers. Do I really have to explain why they don't use complete strangers in challenges that include a man and a woman having to stay together?
Is French Canadian? Guilty. Guilty.
Space for 100 days? Pick a side, Dawson. Do you want them to fucking die for a challenge? Or do you want them to be saved? Guess why the 24 people in the circle for $1 million video didn't get published? Which Dawson insinuates was some elaborate scheme to force more people to buy shirts and then they'd run away with the profit.
We're gonna have 24 people, we're gonna put them in 24 different circles, $1 million on the line, have some fun, you know what I'm saying?
Also, this video never happened. There is no MrBeast video of 24 people in circles competing for $1 million.
Isn't that like every fucking MrBeast video? Am I wrong? Like, just the 100 girls versus 100 boys, they were in a fucking circle and they're winning like, I think it was like $1 million, wasn't it? That's like every fucking video he does.
So like, did they just pocket the money or what?
Well, again, it was because of peak COVID. And this time, I'll let the contestant who took part in that 24 people in the circle for $1 million challenge explain what happened. I've heard that you were in the 24 people in the circle compete for $1 million challenge.
Yep.
Can you talk a bit about how you were invited to that challenge, what kind of happened, why it was never published?
MrBeast started that 24-hour live stream where he was signing t-shirts and giving stuff away for that challenge. So I threw that on. I'm like, look, we'll just put this on in the background. We'll watch it the whole time. And he's giving away tickets, and I just kept blowing up the comment section. I didn't even buy a shirt. I won one of the invitations through the comment section.
Fucking spammer. This guy should be executed. Spamming in the chat.
For free, as like a free participation, no purchase necessary, I guess.
Yeah, during like the height of COVID and everything. It was actually in November. We quarantined for 2 weeks. It was a super nice hotel, like, 2 bedrooms. They bring meals to our room 3 times a day. It was good food, just wanting to keep everybody safe and make sure that we're doing protocols the best way that we could to engage in this video. We all COVID tested, did a giant circle. There was 24 of us, and right in the middle, there's $1 million. And we competed for a few days. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, one of the subcontractors that worked for the team came in and kind of rushed the gun and didn't wait for his COVID results. And he tested positive. And Jimmy came out and he's like, guys, I hate to do this, but one of the guys on the crew has tested positive. I got to keep you all safe. So they canceled the video and they apologized. They sent us all home with 10 grand as an apology after the new year.
I feel like that should have just added to the danger. Like, you guys can stay in the circle if you want, but there's a chance you get the coof. Like, who gives a fuck? Oh, no, my nose is sniffling. Oh, $1 million.
Here in January or something like that, we actually got the call again that they were going to refilm this video, and they brought us all back out, and they're like, it's not going to be a 2-week quarantine. We're going to do like a 4 or 5 day quarantine. And during that period of time, pretty much everybody got COVID, including myself. Like, he's just like, I'm so sorry, but like, we literally we can't do it because everybody's sick, but we'll make it up to you in the future. And again, even then, he gave us like financial contributions to help.
Did they split just like the $1 million over everyone?
Exactly.
Or they just split the entire $1 million prize money over
They
every 24 contestants?
They took the $1 million and divided it through the 24.
They gave you guys $1,240,000 in total.
What? The math out there does not work like that. You mean to say $100,000? Surely.
To stay in a hotel.
Jesus Christ! You guys get the point that this guy.
That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. They just go to a hotel room, eat food, and then they get the redundancy pay. Holy shit! Oh my god! How come? Why isn't it me? MrBeast, Jimmy, you personally have robbed me of that money.
Is about as trustworthy as Richard Nixon during Watergate. And at this point, he has broken his NDA, committed serious...
That was some pretty weird math in this guy's video, though. They divided $1 million over 24 people, so they all got like $1 million. Wait, what are you talking about?
Defamation, time and time again.
It doesn't make... Wait, what are you talking about?
MrBeast, but also several other innocent people who clearly mean nothing more to him than collateral damage.
Sounds like French-Canadian math going on.
Want this guy sued? But hey, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know what's illegal. So I called one, and what Dawson is doing is surely not legal. By now, the results of an investigation done into the MrBeast LLC by an external third-party law firm have been shared and completely aligns with all of the evidence I found.
Yeah, but MrBeast did hire that company, so I'm not sure that's the most unbiased thing that I've seen.
If at this point you still choose to believe this guy, I kindly want to ask you to stop watching my video and continue putting crayons up your nose while drooling over Dogpack's face. Hey! What, however, is legal is the second illegal lottery.
But almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, keep going. Wait, let's go! Wait, that's literally like his initial. Who is it? Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Actually, that's not illegal. Only immediate family can partake in your sweepstakes, and the cousin is not immediate family. It would have been illegal to exclude Chandler's cousin, unless if specified in the rules of that specific...
Now, this is the video where they were faking signatures, weren't they? Like, it very much seemed like random people were just signing MrBeast, and that is a concern that I have. Not that I care for MrBeast's signature at all, but if you're selling a product, well... yeah, they were selling a product because you're buying these t-shirts for a chance to be entered into this prize. Then you have to deliver on what you're selling. Otherwise, it's a scam.
Away. And your snippet isn't from those rules. It's from some lawyer's equivalent to Stack Overflow.
So here's a clip of Tyler forging, or not, maybe not.
Okay, this is what I was talking about. How is he going to respond to this one?
Using MrBeast's signature. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I think this is fraud.
Maybe ask your immediate family, lawyer, next time, because your opinions are fucking stupid. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature if they gave you formal consent to do so, and it doesn't devalue the signature.
No, it totally does. It totally does. If you're buying a signed MrBeast t-shirt, you want it signed by MrBeast. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course it devalues it. Oh, MrBeast gave you permission to sign. No, fuck off. Kids don't want fucking Ava's signature signing as MrBeast. People don't want Chandler's signature signing, but they want MrBeast's signature. This is bullshit. Again, I don't think, yeah, I'm going to downlike this video now. I'm taking away my like. Although you should be liking my video, but I've changed my tune on this one. But I mean, it's still YouTube interaction, so it doesn't matter either way. Seeker Lother with a 5 Singaporean says, video is quite weak. Dogpack might be shady, but allegations about safety running illegal lotteries and contraband, lotteries are corroborated by interviews, lawsuits. Yeah, I agree with these points. Like the premium problems that I have with MrBeast, which is the Ava Chris Tyson stuff, the fake signing and fake lotteries, and well, it's mainly these two. They're mainly these two. The Delaware stuff, I think, is probably a mistake, but I'm kind of still thinking that MrBeast should have done his due diligence there on that one. So that's like my 3 big issues: 1, 2, and 3. Those are my biggest. Like some of these other issues, I can accept that it's people in the company that are doing them, but those 3 in particular, I have a big problem with, because I think Jimmy personally hired Delaware as well. He literally said he went to Best Buy and just picked up the guy. And I, with a 10 pound, says, Soggy was a hired gun. Beast, for his travel expenses, gave him all the evidence and let him interview his team. Beast was just exposed, messaging creators to ask them to react to it and boost it. Really? Do you have proof of this? Because I know he did interviews. I didn't know that MrBeast filmed out at his own expense. That's actually pretty salacious if it's true. Well, I guess it wouldn't be salacious if it's true, but pretty damning if it was true.
Later, MrBeast signed shirts again, but this time
if you have that information, please send it through.
Live stream with way more illegal lotteries.
Nope. MrBeast had no purchase necessary in the description, and even though they did say things like,
would you guys prefer that we throw money in random orders, or that we throw items in random orders? Yeah.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want a Switch. Hey, buy a shirt. If they ended up picking out of both free and paid entries for those giveaways behind the scenes, which there is no reason to believe they didn't, well, then that is
like that. That's pretty spicy. The one that I sent through, not me, but the 10 poons or whatever it was, the 10 poons from the UK, the King's Sterling, because that's just astroturfing, right? Finding like these smaller creators, because people can like, if you're like a mid-sized creator, like small to mid-sized creator, I'm thinking like 100,000 to like 300,000, you're kind of in that range where it's kind of like you're still authentic. When you get to like 1 million subscribers, typically you've kind of got like more of a corporate vibe to your channel. So when you get these small channels coming out of the woodwork, like making these sort of documentaries, there's an element of authenticity to it, especially because I thought that this guy flew out to America on his own expense. But if he's being literally paid by MrBeast, and MrBeast is using his private DM channels to like signal boost this video, that's pretty slimy. And we do know that MrBeast doesn't really seem to understand that you can't just buy opinions from people, because like he did that collaboration where they were doing the taste test, and the guy was just like, nah, this is shit, dog. And he's like, what? I paid you to be in this video. How can you say my chocolate shit? Like MrBeast seems to have a very, very simple, pragmatic understanding of tit for tat, and he seems to get upset when you don't give him back what he's due, right? Like if he invests in you, you got to pay back the Jimmy man.
Legal in live streams. However, I do agree that it's very scummy and manipulative.
Apparently, Judge Logic
in my
confirmed
opinion.
that.
Now, even though I have disproven most of these accusations, there's still a few that I have to investigate.
Wait, what is the fake 10-minute videos? Oh, okay, sorry. That was the one with the countdown timer. I thought when 10 minutes, like 10-minute duration, not 10-minute timer thing.
And since Dogpack404 declined every interview offer, the only other place I could dig up the truth is in the belly of the beast.
Oh man, North Carolina?
Isn't that the boring part of the US?
Oh well.
Alright, so we're now going into this with the knowledge that MrBeast paid for this flight, which changes the calculus a little bit for me. I don't know, does it change it for you, viewer?
On my 8-hour sleep-deprived flight, I had a lot of time to
literally flying out of France? Oh my gosh.
And watch Minions. And there was one question that just kept bugging me. Why did Dogpack commit such serious defamation and violate his NDA? Why risk your entire life just to spread lies about a YouTuber? So
yeah, if he doesn't mention it as well, like you need to disclose this sort of thing, because it's a definite bias that you're going to have.
I went over everything I knew about Dogpack to try and figure out his motivation. I rewatched his first 2 job applications for MrBeast, which both got denied, and they seemed obsessive at best and pretentiously unprofessional at worst. I went over his personal Reddit account, that 5-hat guy, which, for the geriatrics watching, 5-hat is hip internet lingo for when a person says something very smart, so he's calling himself very smart, which is pretty pretentious and cringe. I was starting to see multiple patterns here. Hundreds of obsessive posts and comments on the MrBeast subreddit. New MrBeast interview just dropped. Feastable designs. Him being pretentious, saying he would do shorts better than the current shorts team at MrBeast. Rants whenever people criticized his video IDs. Another third.
Wait, what are some of these memes? Let's have a look at some of these memes. Let's get out the meme magnifying glass and see what they're
shorts
saying.
team at MrBeast. Rants whenever.
All right, let's see. Clint Eastwood and an orangutan. There's absolutely zero ways to make an orangutan safe. Their strength is 5 times that of a human. They could break your bone or crush your neck with no effort at all. If it improves the content, we will find a way to make it work safely and ethically. Pitching ideas on day 4. So he wanted to do a video where people were like hugging orangutans. Isn't this a chimpanzee though? Like I thought orangutans are more orange, aren't they? But yeah, there's no way you can make that safe. It would be pretty interesting to see though. Like I don't know, I wouldn't mind seeing the MrBeast crew hugging orangutans and see what happens. But there's no way to make it safe, but it is a way to make it entertaining.
People criticized his.
Alright, what's this one? List of things that MrBeast has filmed safely: explosive tanks, snakes, sharks, assassins, Antarctica, car in a lake, starvation, plane crash, alligators. List of things he can't be filmed safely: monkey. Yes. He seems like he's... So is Dogpack actually just butthurt that people didn't like his monkey idea? That is really funny. He went full monkey mode and he's chimping out now. Oh my goodness. Why won't you make my orangutan video, MrBeast, you rat? I don't know. I find this pretty entertaining.
Video ID.
What's this? Cancel... What? Cancel dropping the car in the lake. Some guy on Reddit said it's not safe, but I'm already editing it. Oh. So again, he's just mad at the orangutan idea.
Another third 15-minute long obsessive MrBeast job application where he goes into depth on viewer psychology, showcasing how aware he is of how every...
Wait, what the fuck is this? Pitching ideas until something happens, day 10, video pitch. And he's got pictures of birds.
Where he goes into depth on viewer psychology.
Alright. Analogy, galaxy, solar system, Earth, molecules. First principles of thinking, access the current reality, identify the first principles, shape a new reality.
Psychology, showcasing how aware he...
Then he's got different parts of birds, showing how it would work in Russian versus American. So apparently this one with the ghosty girl is like more spooky in Russian or something. Key evolutionary step. What the fuck is this? Is this an actual manifesto? I'm starting to be a little bit concerned. With the different shapes of bird beaks for like the different tools of like opening seeds is something concerning to me to see this picture show up in a pitch for a MrBeast video. That's pretty unhinged. I, with another 20 poons, thank you very much, says links are on the YouTube drama Reddit. Clip of Soggy admitting to MrBeast paid for his travel. And other creators showed DMs from MrBeast asking him to react or asking them to make the video before he asked Soggy. Well, there you go. I'll check that out later. Thank you very much for sending that through. That's a thing I didn't know.
Piece of a video can be...
All right, let's go back. I want to see more of this schizo posting. But this is 100% schizo hours. MrBeast, $1 versus $1 million hotel room. And he's got all the different psychological, the characters, and he's got his little star maps and things. He's got a picture of a fucking brain. Do you see this? It's I want to see this. He's got like, I bet what he's showing here is the different parts of activation and parts of the brain. Holy shit. What a fucking psychopath. Like, it's almost like admirable, right? I can almost appreciate the amount of autism that's gone into creating this.
Can be used to manipulate the viewer in one way or another. It now made sense why Dawson used the exact same content cop outfit as iDubbbz, or why he kept...
Or maybe because he Googled a costume, and the costume that is cheap is the one that they buy. I'm not sure that he went out specifically to get the exact same costume. It's not impossible. But typically I defer to the simplest answer being the correct answer.
His videos weren't monetized, or how he was able to frame and manipulate every lie as if it were the truth. It really all was viewer manipulation? This entire Reddit account just seems like the online embodiment of an unhealthy MrBeast obsession. So then I went over his erratic DMs to me where he threatened to slander me with nothing but false claims. Luckily when he did that, I still had bulletproof receipts, so Dawson had no choice but to back down. Nonetheless, this once again proved to me how Dogpack accuses and tries silencing people without any fact-checking and completely tries warping the truth to push his personal agenda. So, was he really just doing all this because his ego couldn't accept the fact that he got fired from his dream job after only 3 weeks at a YouTuber he was obsessed with? Maybe I'm gonna get some more answers at the MrBeast company, but for now, I'll just rewatch Minions for a third time.
Is he under the payroll of MrBeast and also the Minion company? Like, is he working for Gru? What the fuck's going on here?
Hi, Dustin Harris. You are the well, rogue employee. And I first of all wanted to ask you what you do at MrBeast, what your role is, and why you decided to reach out and correct some of the accusations that have been made.
I worked for Jimmy almost 6 years, going on 6 years. I've been a writer, director, producer, production coordinator, an assistant, executive assistant, head of production, head of creative, head of construction, you name it. I've done.
I might skip through the. Do you guys want to skip through the interviews? It seems like a fairly large. It's like a 20-minute segment. It seems like a pretty dry one though. We might skip through to the illegal lottery #1 and the conclusions, because this doesn't seem that interesting. We've kind of gone for a while. We've been going on for a while. Put a 1 if you want to skip through the interviews. I'll start fast forwarding through them though.
Everything that I can do in this company.
Strategist right now, ideation generator, coordinator.
2 times speed. We're not doing 2 times speed, but I'll skip through it. I'll skip through it. I'll see if there's anything interesting here.
Oh, okay, you didn't.
To Beast while I was still the creative manager. He applied to Beast twice, and I saw his interview and went, interesting. He's got an analytical brain.
Yeah.
That's not creative. Like what he's talking about just won't fit what we're trying to do with our videos. So I turned him down.
Seems like it's just kind of people talking about how they don't like him though, or he's a bit of a weirdo, which I agree with. He definitely seems like a weirdo. But unfortunately, this Soggy video, not what I was expecting. There was some good criticism, but again, it's kind of wiped away by just kind of being under MrBeast's pocket, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying. What's this segment with the? Did they blur out this chick's tits or some shit? What's going on here?
Ask you about Dawson, but I want to make sure you're comfortable being recorded first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I heard a rumor circulating that Dawson told you that your food was trash. Can you tell us a little?
Okay, hard-hitting journalism here. He didn't like the food at the MrBeast compound, which is a bit rude when you're working there for free. But not the most hard-hitting stuff. All right, let's see. Looks like most people wanted to skip through this, but I'm going to see if there's anything really interesting.
The viewer in some way or form, and you can see that both by that video he made to apply at the MrBeast channel.
Play the chick's interview in slow motion. Why? Just to make people suffer?
Fight for blah, blah, blah. We have to make a challenge so simple to understand and easy to process that a literal 1-year-old and a 99 to 100-year-old can understand. Like, we need to keep that in mind. That's just generalizing.
That's a weird target demographic, 1-year-olds, though. All right. Is MrBeast evil? What do you think, chat? Is MrBeast evil? I mean, I can probably get rid of this Delaware shit because it's just ignorance. But again, it was his responsibility. And as the manager of a company, especially when it was only 5 people at the time, you are responsible for all of your employees. But I do have some very serious problem with this fake signing of lotteries. I have some big problems with the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. Especially the Ivanka Trump stuff is pretty disturbing in respect, because Jimmy New ×2. Which is, it seems like there's no getting away from this, the Jimmy New ×2. There's some other stuff, some of his practices, specifically paying people to side with his opinion in both his chocolate reviews and apparently you make YouTube videos. I think the fake signing, even though like I don't personally care about MrBeast's signature, this is absolutely fake scam. If you're promising a MrBeast signed shirt and it's someone else signing, some guy from the production team signing it, even if you give him permission, that's not okay in my books. That's not okay. The fake lotteries, again, this could be, I guess, attributed to ignorance, but it seems pretty sus to me. The other stuff, like the Delaware guy, not Delaware, sorry, the sexual harassment did happen on this on the set of MrBeast, but they alleged it was one individual rogue actor and they was fired. The fake videos I don't care too much about. Because everything's fake on the internet, basically, anyway. The crypto stuff is something I'm more interested in. I want to see what he's doing with the crypto. Was he just investing his money in the crypto, or was he actually setting up pump and dumps? Because if he was setting up pump and dumps, then it's fucking over. Like, then he's just the slimiest person in the world. This video, The Truth About MrBeast and Dogpack, it doesn't really help MrBeast, to be honest. MrBeast is still, in my mind, how he was before I started this video, but it has shown that Dogpack is kind of like a schizo ex-girlfriend. Again, no good people in this story, in my opinion. But just because Dogpack is a retard doesn't mean that MrBeast didn't know. So, unfortunate about that.
Went all the way from America and back, and all I gotta show for it is this ugly plushie and this fart gun from Minions.
Alright, wait. Extremely Happy Simmer with a 5 says, the interviews are actually really interesting. They talked about the woman who wrote No Doesn't Mean No. Alright, well, let's see if I can find that. Oh, is that here?
so fast people-wise. It's like, okay, how do we give them artificial Jimmy time? Like, how do we teach them what CTR is, teach them what 1 out of 10 is, like them.
When reading that, you know, you put a line in there, no, it doesn't mean no, and it has a pretty negative
strategist.
So there was a
is this, we'll listen to this interview.
Document, about like work culture, and there was a line in there, no, it doesn't mean no, and it has a pretty...
Now this one, when we saw this the first time it came up in the video, yeah, it sounds very funny, out of context, but realistically this is a sales tactic, and salesmen are just taught to never stop pushing to get what you want. And specifically what I remember from this is that they were talking about, like, if you want to film in a store and the manager says no, you keep pushing, because maybe with a little bit of push you can get what you want, and like you can actually film in the store, sort of thing. So while it does sound very funny in 2024 to say no, they have a document that says no does not mean no, it's not really the smoking gun that you hope it would be, right?
Negative connotation. I was wondering, because you know, you as a woman working at Beast, what was your reaction when reading that no, it doesn't mean no thing? And,
yeah, so I actually wrote that part.
All right, that is very funny. Woman now says no doesn't mean no. Interesting.
yeah. That's why it's funny. Yeah, because I actually wrote this thing with Jimmy doing this. The whole reason why this thing exists in the first place is because we are growing so fast people-wise. It's like, okay, how do we give them artificial Jimmy time?
I mean, the jokes kind of write themselves.
Teach them what CTR is, teach them what 1 out of 10 is.
The CTR is click-through rate. So like getting a video with a pop-in thumbnail.
How do you say, okay, this is how we think about creative, this is how what it takes to be successful here, you know, based off of the hard things we got to do. That's the intent behind the document, right? No doesn't mean no is wildly taken out of context, I think, in this situation, because in the way that we mean it, it's a sales tactic. It's like, again, like I mentioned, like you call a crane operator and go, hey man, I need you to drop a jet from your crane, and they're like, huh? No, I can't do that, right? And so for us, it's more like, well, why can't you do that? And they're like, oh, well, I don't have the manpower to.
Yeah, it's like when you ask a woman to take her pants off and she says no, and then you're like, well, why can't you do that? Right? Fucking HR. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, okay, well, how do we help you get past that, right? Can we help get you more labor? Is it like that's what it means, because like we wouldn't have a company if we start at no at face value, right? Because if everybody that told us no, we couldn't do some of the crazy things that we've done. In no sense of the word, in the context, means like as a female, if somebody comes up to me and says an inappropriate comment, like they keep trying, like not at all.
Okay,
you know
because that was kind of concerning, I guess. But
well, yeah, like
I mean, but where's the difference though? Like, where do you draw the line? I mean, I was just joking before, but like, where do you draw the line? This is a sales tactic. Well, like dating someone is also basically sales tactics. You're trying to convince someone that you're a good partner. So it is very funny. It's very funny. It basically boils down to that human resources comic where it's like, "Hello, human resources." That's the difference.
not at all. Not at all. Okay. Like in any sense of the word, it's like no. Like it's a sales tactic. It's been around long before like we put it down on paper.
The truth of the matter is, we were 4.5 weeks out of that video and we didn't have a hole or a train. And I don't know if you know anything about digging dirt, but it takes a long time to dig a hole that deep. And the location we ended up shooting it at happens to be a close personal friend of mine, and just happened to have a 50-foot deep quarry that was already dug. And
that's a bit convenient. Do you believe that? This guy just happened to have a friend with a big fucking hole in his backyard that they use. All right, fine. Fucking rigged.
The creative behind the video was that it was an 80-foot hole, so I had to get it dug another 30 feet in 4 weeks, which that much limestone is a lot to do. So we hired a massive...
This is where they can hire all... This is the mass graves for the MrBeast compound. They buried in limestone. And like, what do you need? Limestone, and what else do you need to dissolve a body? I forgot.
Excavating team to come out and dig the other 30 feet out. And then the reason that the hole is CG'd in the video is because of safety, right? We needed to create a back.
All right, we're gonna go back. That was a pretty good interview, actually. I quite enjoyed that. Wait, what is about the? I'm gonna skip it.
I also want to ask you about this about Lakoya Hill.
All right, I want to hear about this guy, Lakoya Hill.
And there was some mismanagement from him towards his assistant. There are some allegations out there, but nothing concrete so far. And yeah, can you tell me a bit about what really went on with Lakoya Hill?
Yeah, so like just to kind of give you background on like when someone reports something to HR, which would have been me at the time because it was years ago.
Yeah.
So like when Lakoya Hill, the 80-year-old, well the old black gay man, went to his 18-year-old assistant and got the one hotel room to share, and he said no. Did no mean no then? I mean, let's see if there's some consistency in the MrBeast offices.
Whenever somebody reports it, I go, hey, okay, like, thank you, I appreciate it. We're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to look into it. Then we always hire a third party company, either a lawyer or someone that's like not here to like prove one person right or wrong, but like a true unbiased party. And so then like everybody talks to him, like the person, his assistant would have talked to them, LaKoya would have talked to them, and any person that they named as witnesses or potential proof of text messages, like pictures, anything like this company would have dealt with. And then they write a report and then they go, hey, here's what you should do, right? And so that's what they do. And then internally what we do is like, okay, the assistant, like, what do you want to happen, right? If it's this, if it's that, like obviously if it's found like he's gone, like that's not okay in any workplace, you know?
If it's like confirmed that there is something,
like of course, like we're not gonna hang on to that, right? And so, and he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like I don't want to be around him, I don't want to see him, like it's just really uncomfortable for me, you know? So we're like, okay, great. So like I actually worked with him to come up with a list of like jobs that he wanted, because again, if the person who he's assisting is not here, like it's like, okay, well now what's your job? Like so it was like we came up with everything he was interested in, like what he wanted to do and stuff like that.
So it's true that the Lakota stuff was true, is what you're saying.
Move him into a different role.
Like she's like kind of gish galloping a lot there about saying, but so it seems like the allegations were true, that this old man was like preying on the 18-year-old straight people in the company.
He said, hey, you won't have to see LaKoya again. We're gonna like move him completely out. It wasn't a secret. Like we moved him to a new company idea that we had.
So you did just shuffle this guy around the company and then you break him back. Okay.
Only person in that company. He wasn't even on site. He wasn't working in the building. He wasn't anything like that.
So we just moved the gay predator somewhere else. Okay. Thank you, HR lady.
We just said, hey, we think this is a cool idea. Go figure it out. And so he went on his own to go figure that out.
Why didn't they just fire him? He had too much dirt on the rest of them, obviously. Extremely happy Simmer with another 5. Thank you very much. Very good recommendation on the going back to the interview part, this part in particular. They also have the Jake Weddle's friend who says it was a war crime, was a joke. Yeah, we saw that at the beginning of the video, I think. So we commented that. That's like back this part, the first 10 minutes of the video.
The assistant worked with us for a long time, and then when he wasn't here anymore, I think it was like almost a year after the assistant like had chosen to do whatever he wanted to do. Then we were like, okay, we'll bring LaKoya back to help, because at this point there's no conflict anymore. So
all right. What? So the gay guy got moved out of the company while the person he allegedly abused was there. Then when the 18-year-old that was allegedly abused left the company, they brought the gay guy back. I don't know. That's a bit sus. What is this one? The one that says Kenya. I want to skip to that.
Multiple countries. So we had one center third party that we were working with.
All right, so this is the 1,000 people that they cured of blindness or some shit. All right, this is also Jake Weddle's friend as well, by the way. So we'll read this part. Oh wait, I want to see the eye shit because that's like demonic. All right.
Some of the eye surgeries were happening and helping 1,000 people see for the first time. And they claimed that the MrBeast company hadn't paid for any of the surgeries yet. Can you talk a bit about that?
Essentially, when we did that video, we worked with a third party. And that third party...
I like they've got the Monster Energy drink on the table right there. It's for our sip bros out there.
We worked with a bunch of different organizations all around the world because we were trying to spread it as far as we could, multiple countries. So we had one center third party that we were working with, and they kind of worked with all these. One of those organizations somewhere around the world.
I didn't think about that. That would have been funny. Like if MrBeast just cured white people of blindness, then there would have been. I guess they went around the world, so there was like an even distribution of people that could see again. But I didn't even think about that. If they just went to he went to Sweden or some shit and cured 100 people's cataracts, so that'd be really funny.
Didn't receive the compensation, which we only worked with the third party. We paid them for 1,800 surgeries.
Oh, 1,800, so another 1,000.
Yeah, we kept going after 1,000. We just worked with them. And
okay.
We did more than 1,000, but the title of 1,000 sounds a lot better. So we just says 1,000, and it looks good. Yeah. So we worked with that third party, and that third party, I don't know what communication error happened between them and the other organization, but some way or another, that organization ended up not being funded properly. Okay. And then when it came across our desk that the missing loop happened, we just went around the third party we were going to work with to compensate them. And they put out a video since talking about.
Yep. So they did pay eventually. Now the question is, since this is a 13 day old video, would MrBeast have paid if this hadn't been brought to light by people that were criticizing him? Because it's all very well and good to do the right thing in the end, but would you have done it if you weren't under the microscope?
We're doing a video where we're trying to help people walk.
Because like the Dogpack's, like even though Dogpack has made some pretty heinous errors, some results he has actually has helped people. Like he did get that guy his dog food, his lifetime supply of dog food. And I'm not sure if Dogpack was directly responsible for this one, but it seems like this medical team was finally compensated as well. And I will say though that like I don't have a problem with people making like what's the word for it? Like when you're doing philanthropy, but it's actually just for money, your own gain. I actually don't. I have a very utilitarian opinion on that. Like if MrBeast builds like 100 wells in the Africa or some shit, I don't care that he's making money from that video. For me, I think that's a net good in the world. Now I do have a problem with the other shit that he was doing, but like whenever I see that shit, like oh we're gonna feed these poor people, you're gonna watch the video. Yeah, it's a win-win. It's win-win in my opinion of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Actively, partners have pulled out because of these videos. There are people who will not walk or will have to delay in them walking because of the videos that Dogpack made. That was unironically, like I was getting pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence.
That was also like.
Now this one is, I don't know if you can blame Dogpack for this. Like if there's companies that don't want to accept free money to heal people of like lameness, I guess, not being able to walk. I'm not sure that's on Dogpack, even though he's the one who's making these critical videos of. That sounds like a bit of a reach to me, honestly. These companies, if they truly cared about doing good rather than their image, then they would just accept the money, right? Surely.
The serious idea that he had.
Yeah, it again goes back to like the no, I'm joking, because if I pitch you,
all right, I think that's the end of the interview section. That was interesting, anyway. So.
Was in fact illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description, no mention of it at all. Yeah, it was illegal. And
yeah, lame. It's lame, right? When you can't walk, you're lame. Surely. Lame legs. Yeah.
Personally, Jimmy has to own up for it. Either by donating the amount of profit he made in that live stream to a
Hold on. So he changed his system, though. Like, beforehand... Wait, what the fuck? This guy's, like, fucking lying. He had, like, question marks over Lakoya Hill. It basically was proven... Or at least they swept it on the rug. Then it made it into a false. Like this is, and the same with the Jake Weddle as well. This was like a mystery, and now he's considering it a half win. This is some bullshit. He's covering up all the gay grooming shit.
Charity, or by refunding everyone who bought a shirt in that stream, but that's like so many years ago, so I don't know if that's a possibility. Or do a giveaway live stream where everything is given away for free, with no merch sales attached. However, I do also want to note that most YouTubers, including me, didn't know that you could do something like an illegal lottery. So since only the first one was illegal, I feel like it might have been a mistake. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. Just as the question if Mr.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean... well, I mean... The problem is there's the ethical dilemma as well of making these essentially gambling for children, because make no mistake, like kiddies with their mum's credit card is directly the audience for this. So while, yeah, you can make a mistake with not knowing the exact rules of a lottery, sure, but should you be doing these lotteries in this way to begin with, is what I would ask.
Beast as evil isn't for me to say, but that is again for you, the viewer, to decide. Because there is some shit that he should be criticized for and has to be looked into. I know CoffeeZilla is doing an investigation into his crypto stuff, and once that releases, I hope that clarifies some things. Because those
it says he's investigating MrBeast right there. It looks like you've already watched the video, so...
are some serious allegations. And that wasn't of like stupid adolescent Jimmy, 19 years old, and hiring someone without doing background checks. That was like 3 years ago, way more recent, that he should be held accountable for if he did commit crime.
So I have seen the first CoffeeZilla video, and I guess there's more to come. But one of the things that's happening in there is that there was like basically these big groups that they were kind of coordinating buys for these NFTs essentially. And also MrBeast was pumping up indirectly or directly. Whether you think that's immoral or moral, I guess, is up to you. But basically, he was buying these amounts of these coins and then like kind of plugging them on social media in such a way that it seemed like he was like, interested in them, but that he wasn't already a stakeholder. Personally, I think that's pretty manipulative. And the question is, was he using this for the purpose of a pump and dump? Now, a pump and dump is when you buy a bunch of like shit coins on like Dogecoin is kind of considered a shitcoin, but it's actually pretty reliable, Dogecoin. But basically what you'd do is you'd find an unknown token or coin in the crypto world. You'd buy like 100,000 of them for like $10 or some shit. Then you'd just start putting a bunch of information online and buy up the price. And as soon as people started buying up, that's when you sold out. So you pumped it and then you dumped it. And this is what happens in most crypto scams. And like we saw it with the Jake Paul stuff, the crypto zoo. And it's basically the story of every shitcoin. whenever you see like a cryptocurrency, you have to ask yourself, what is the use case for this thing? There are some cryptocurrencies that are actually pretty interesting, but most of them, if it's just like a meme coin is just a shit coin. And if you're pumping a shit coin, then you're a sellout. Like Boogie, when he scammed his audience. He made like $5,000 or $10,000 or some shit that he eventually had to be shamed into giving back because he lied about his cancer. And the company that was like using Boogie made hundreds of thousands of dollars, perhaps millions of dollars. So Boogie L, I suppose, but who knows?
Rhymes with crypto. So yeah, go check CoffeeZilla's video on that once it releases. I couldn't really investigate the crypto stuff because I don't know shit about crypto, and I didn't want to be hypocritical like Dogpack and talk about shit I don't know anything about, because that's basically what.
But you made like so many errors in this video. It's very like, I was kind of interested in this video because it's like, I really like when stories have more nuance and more depth than just this person bad. But like, I'm not very convinced. You like kind of glossed over a bunch of things that didn't matter. You did show that like he was successful in dragging Dogpack through the mud for sure. Like, I definitely have a lower opinion of Dogpack after this video. Although to be fair, my opinion of him was already pretty low, even though I get criticism for it. Because I've seen some of the shit he did. Like, someone mentioned it earlier, but yes. We mentioned at the beginning, but Rosanna Pensino, she literally put her father's ashes into a weed plant, waited until it grew, and then smoked it and did a podcast about it while posting her feet pics. So she smoked her father. This is real. This is real, and you can go look at the video, Smoking My Dead Dad, Redonkulous Episode 1. This is her first podcast 2 days ago. So this is the team that they've got fighting. This is their Avengers. Holy shit. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, if you missed it at the beginning, like this is literally that came out like a couple days ago. Because I was searching for pictures to show the team of like Jake Weddle, Dogpack, and then Rosanna. And this is the first thing came up. We lost my dad 5 years ago to leukemia. His dying wish was to be grown into cannabis and smoked. So I did that. Maybe we don't do this. Maybe we don't honor that last wish. You know, it's nice, I guess, to honor your father's dying wish, but maybe let's not. Maybe let's not smoke our parents.
Dawson has been doing for the past few months. I feel like Jimmy has to become way more transparent because that is how he got in all this trouble in the first place.
It's not random internet chick smoking weed, big deal. That's not the point. The point is she grew her father into the weed plant and then she smoked her father. I don't care if she's smoking fucking weed. She's smoking her dad. The ashes are in the marijuana pot. And it's being absorbed. Her father's essence is being absorbed into the plant. And then she's smoking that plant. She smoked her father. That's fucking weird.
They really have to start a MrBeast behind the scenes channel to upload behind the scenes.
Alright, what a stupid... Wait, what is this one? Yeah, but was she grooming kids like Jimmy's buddies were? It's not a question of one person good, one person bad. They're all shit. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah, she's not doing it. It's not as bad as what MrBeast did. She's still a retard. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes. Whenever you try and like whenever I criticize Ricada, people are like, "Oh, you're swooping for Aaron." I'm like, "No, Aaron could be a bad guy too. Dogpack could be a bad guy too. Jimmy can be a bad guy too. They can all be bad." Drives me fucking nuts.
Footage there, and stop with the deceptive shit. When you do a sponsor read, don't make the yellow bar go real fast at the start to make the viewer believe that, you know, oh, this advertisement isn't going to take long.
Oh yeah, this was fucking bullshit, by the way. So what MrBeast did is he had like the ad bar going across, and it went on really fast, and then it slowed down to like a fucking crawl to trick people into thinking the ad was you could watch the ad really quickly. That was some fucking bullshit. That MrBeast should be punched in the face for that.
Skip over it, but then at the end of it, make the visual timer suddenly run way slower. That's not just deceptive. I think that's pretty disrespectful towards your audience. And I know that there are still questions that you guys probably have with stuff that I just couldn't address because there is so much, but
he's not addressing the biggest thing in the room, which is the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. It's like, Jimmy knew. Jimmy fucking knew. He knew about... he knew about the Tyson Shadman shit. And he knew about the Ivanka Trump. They thought she was 13 and they were posting pics with their nips out in their group chat. Jimmy knew both of these things. It hasn't, just because you've moved Tyson to the background where they're no longer on camera, they're still benefiting from the MrBeast channel. They're still, I believe, a stake owner in it. Every time a MrBeast video comes out, they get paid. So you're just glossing over these, like, yeah, whatever.
Can forward you to some other people who have talked about stuff that I might have forgotten in this video. You know, if you want to know some more about Beast Games and the Beast Games lawsuit, definitely check out Stucky's channel. He did a great deep dive on that, and I made many other videos on the whole Dogpack MrBeast situation. And again, once CoffeeZilla's investigation on the crypto stuff is out there, I highly recommend you to go watch that, because that'll clarify a lot of stuff that I don't know anything about. Because I trust those investigative creators 10,000 times more than I do Dawson. Instead of having competent people investigate serious accusations, he's just been throwing baseless shit at the wall and hoping some stuff sticks with the audience.
I mean, but that's kind of the same thing that you're doing as well. Let's not pretend that you're not doing exactly what he's doing. I'm kind of curious what the comments on this one say. Let me see if I can. Where the fucking go? The fuck is YouTube? Where are they? There they are. Dogpack just destroyed his career. Dogpack is finished. Dogpack situation just got worse. True and real. That's what I'm doing right now, essentially. The meat riding is extreme. I actually thinking Dogpack and Soy Cereal would be a great duo. Yeah, they kind of deserve each other, I think. They're kind of two soys of the same coin. This content cop section I've never dreamed about. Came to be annoyed, stayed for actual journalism, good for sloppy cereal. I'm not so convinced. I feel a little bit like, a little bit betrayed by this video. I'm deleting my comment calling this video propaganda just for it to come out that this video is propaganda 2 days later. Is hilarious. For anyone watching. Alright, this is interesting. I think this is what people were talking in chat before. For anyone wondering, someone at MrBeast paid for Soggy Cereal's flight to the US. Then MrBeast started begging drama channels to cover this video. As a reply said in the other comment, MrBeast 100% had editorial control. This is just another variation of the I have investigated myself and concluded I have done nothing wrong. Everyone who fell for this extremely gullible because it had a bunch of propaganda 101 language in the first 5 minutes. And they're true. I'm extremely gullible, this person says. Very true. Unfortunate. I was kind of hoping for a banger tonight, but it was fun to hang out with a chat and learn about smoking parents. Do women really just sit around like this, smoking their parents? Like what else? Like this. When I saw this, I was like, oh my god. Anyway, to conclude, for the people in chat, if you're just joining us, you could also like the video. You still have a chance to. The conclusion is that Dogpack is insane, and Dogpack is a crazy ex, but MrBeast also knew, and it does not absolve him of exposing people to the crimes of Ava Chris Tyson, as well as potentially other registered sex offenders. And I also have a lot of problems with perhaps the crypto stuff, but I need to look more into that as well. And also, I have some problems with the fake signing and fake lottery stuff. So there you go. MrBeast, not absolved. Jimmy knew. Dogpack, fucking insane. Which is kind of what I thought before going into this. But I'm sure people will yell at me for defaming the good name of glorious Dogpack man. Because apparently you can only have one side. You can only be on one team on the internet. But that's where I come out tonight. You would say it's pretty dope to smoke your parents? No, fucking no. I'm never smoking my fucking parents. That's weird. That's weird. It's recycling. Don't recycle your parents. What is this? It's one... Look, you start by smoking your parents, then you get the munchies, and then you start eating Soylent Green. That's the progression. People say about don't eat the bugs. Don't eat your fucking parents. It's satanic, smoking the patriarchy. I mean, she is. I guess she is smoking. Would you smoke an emu? Absolutely. Smoked emu sounds delicious. Smoke dad every day. Nice. Nice. It's Soylent dank. Soylent purple, I guess. Soylent green and purple, right? Thanks, Doc. Good comment. Lust-provoking image, irrelevant, time-wasting video. True and real. Incest inhalation. Some of these are pretty funny. Incest inhalation. What if you don't inhale? What if you don't have it? Literal fatherless baby. Oh, that's rude. Oh my goodness. He asked for it? I mean, I guess he did. Some chat people are making me giggle too much today. That's pretty funny. That's how the zombie apocalypse starts? I mean, pretty close to, right? Like, that's how mad cow disease started, by feeding brains of cows to other cows, right? But the prion disease or some shit. I don't think you can get prion disease from putting your parents into the soil, but it's a dangerous precedent, I would say. Kind of cringe to copy a movie and smoke your parents. Yeah, I remember that being the plot of some movie, but I can't remember what it was. His dad wanted to be inside her. Oh my god, shut up. Imagine if she met... No! No! Prion disease is incurable too. I heard that, like, isn't there, like, random, like, prions just floating around in the air? And if they just happen to collide with your nose or something, or your eye, you just fucking get prion disease? It's fucking terrifying, if true. Deer can get prion disease from plants grown from dead deer with prions, but no way from ashes. I mean, that is terrifying. Prion disease is scary as shit. So you should watch out for that. Makes her father... No, come on. Don't turn him into the diamond slong. You can't be doing that. It's just like, look at her face. Look at her fucking face. She's just so smug. She's so fucking smug about it. Can you at least have a little bit of grace when you're smoking your parent woman? She's just like, I did that. I did that. It was her husband, though? No, it was her father. Your father actually did... What the fuck? Anyway. That's it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It was a bit of fun. To do something different. There will be some interesting and different and lust-provoking stream topics in the near future. Irrelevant, time-wasting videos with lust-provoking images. There should be some pretty spicy stuff towards the end of the month. As you do know, there are 3 very interesting court cases coming up that were featuring you-know-whom. And provided Nick doesn't act a fool, we'll have to wait until the end of next week, I think, to hear anything about him. But it seems like he can't, because he's doing some pretty weird shit actually currently right now on Twitter and shit. But it seems like he's finally silenced April. So there's no more, there's been no schizo posting from April for the last few days. Again, thank you for joining us. That's it. Peace out, and we'll see you. Have a good one. Peace. And you know what? I need like something to play the stream out on. This one.
Oh, get it. Oh, don't step on him. Don't step on him.